Ребят, всем здорово, кто залетает на стримчик. Я рад всех видеть. Кто выделил для моего стрима время?
Dancer, Mona, Beta, let them know. Got the weights up. That's how we know when we level up. That's how we know when we level up.
That's the Power Classical!
Still I'm standing tall. About the ball. I got my friend with me. Oh, we know we ball. So don't get out the mouth. Because the one they call, I take my friend with me. Nobody they can tell when you break the codes. But you know the ability and now for like I'm in know. Here's all I wanna know. Here's all I wanna know. Need me the real guys when it's time to go. Ella, Beta, listen to all the haters. That's how we know when we level up. That's how we know when we level up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time. Get up. Get up.
Экспериментки скоро начинается. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 18, 19, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yoo-hoo!
ESL Mobile Challenge is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's the ESL Mobile Challenge. Are you leveling up? Well, we're leveling up, that's for sure. I'm Edie Smith, and joining me is Ark for this one. Lethal is waiting in the wings for what is going to be another 7 matches of action here on play day 4.
It's the big one. We're at the halfway point almost.
It's the big one. We're at the halfway point almost.
It's like flown by.
I know, right? It's just like flown by. There's been so many fast-paced games, and a lot of teams looking just to wrap things up quickly, but a lot of others giving them a bit of a run for their money as well. So I'm expecting more fireworks today.
Absolutely, you can see at the top of the table 5.
Absolutely, you can see at the top of the table 5 and AC Milan Clash and SK Gaming. They will meet each other today. Somebody somewhere is going to have a loss. Who will it be? Navi, no, big surprise me, 0-6 for them. I suddenly realised I put them down as a win today, and now my prediction's feeling a little bit scared.
Yeah, I played it safe today, it's copied lethal. I'm not in the greatest of winning streaks at the moment, so I thought I'd just go and copy him.
Well, as you can see, Noble Elite up against Tribe.
Well, as you can see, Noble Elite up against Tribe Gaming to start with. Tribe were looking solid yesterday, but Noble Elite came up with a couple of surprise wins. Big versus Tribe, it was a bad day for Big yesterday. Tribe, of course, only had that one single game. Then into Navi versus Reply Totem. Reply Totem also starting to have some good performances, and as I just said, 0-6 for Navi. It's a little worrying with their one game today. Then we have a double header for Clash up against Reply Totem and SK Gaming. That's the big one you definitely want to set your watches for. And then straight after that, it is Exo Free Agents up versus SK Gaming. Some massive games for SK today.
Yeah, they really need to nail it as well. They want to make sure that they're on the top and showing Clash that they work their way towards it. A little bit behind in terms of games, but not behind in terms of the scorelines. But yeah, absolutely, I'm very keen to see how Noble Elite especially played today. We got our predictions yesterday completely wrong, and they absolutely blew it out the water with some really interesting comp choices. So looking for big things from them today also.
And the final game, of course, Big versus Exo Free Agents. Currently planned for 11:30. I can tell you these times can change based on how quick, obviously, the games prior to them will be. Obviously, if we have a bunch of 3-0s, things will be much faster. So first up is Noble Elite. Obviously, for them, it is Andre, John, and Melny, and they are up against the Tribe Gaming today. Obviously, sticking around with Tom, Ben, and Casey. Where's your pictures, boys? Where's your pictures?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, this is the thing. I mean,
Yeah, I know, right?
Thomas
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, Thomas Fenn have been in the World Finals. We've seen a fair amount of them. Casey, a bit quiet on social media, but does like to get his hair out every now and again to look a bit of a wishing troll. But has had his fair share of lands as well, especially in the early part of last year with back then Toad Magic Purple. But yeah, I mean, we'd love to.
Absolutely. What are they doing? Hiding the pictures.
Absolutely. What are they doing? Hiding the pictures. Get the pictures over to the production. They want them sorted out. We'll get them there. Don't worry. Hopefully that'll get sorted out as soon as possible. But that is the maps. Obviously, we're starting things off. It's going to be split straight away into Super Stadium for Brawl. Then into Summer Assembly Required, Shooting Star, and Kaboom coming to close things out if we need it. The band's coming through. Bell and Primo, and Stewart and Primo for tries. So Poco was allowed this time. Obviously, normally he's been banned alongside Primo. But Bell being banned away, not too surprising. Once again, despite obviously the patch that came out last week, still very much one of the top border choices.
Yeah, I think these are pretty smart bans for me. Yeah, I'm equally surprised to not see the Poco ban there, but Stu definitely seems to be something that's started taking into account. I really hope, I've got to say, that it goes to Shooting Star, because we saw yesterday Noble Elite bring out the Leon pick consistently so, and they were getting great results with that, so I hope that we do go to at least that full step to see whether they're going to bring out some simple ideas today.
This is the first game of the day.
Yeah, so obviously this is the first game of the day. If you don't know what's going on, well, where have you been to start with? We're into the fourth playday now, the ESL Mobile Challenge. $45,000 up for grabs in the tournament. Lots to play for. And of course, don't forget those top 4 teams from this round robin stage is going to go through to those finals. So you've got to be in one of those top 4 slots. That's what they're all fighting for right now. As is, Clash and SK are looking golden, but as you say, running to halfway stage, things could change around, things could turn pretty badly for some of these teams. Obviously, it will be 14 games in total with the 8 teams there, so still a long way to go.
There's still much that can change also. I mean,
there's still much that can change also. I mean, last week we saw happening in real time the barrage changes and players had to adapt very, very quickly. And it's still a little bit, all over the place in some respects, like looking at Primo, looking at you. So, players are going to have to constantly be mixing up their game, messing up their play style to see what works and what doesn't. And yeah, that's what we saw yesterday from Mobil Elite in particular, was just kind of using some really unusual choices and some brawlers which people didn't really expect to see, and it did work more often than not. The question today is going to be, is that going to be something which Tribe are going to be able to handle? Are they going to be able to deal with that, or are they going to have equally of a challenging time?
Yeah, we saw from Tribe yesterday. Obviously, they played.
Yeah, and we saw from Tribe yesterday. Obviously, they played for Play Totem. Was the first game of the day yesterday as well. Actually, gave them time to go off and watch the football. I know Spen wanted to do that.
There's no doubt about it.
They really look strong. There's no doubt about it. I think we were surprised. They had, let's face it, they had probably the toughest start. Tribe did. They had extra free agents into SK Gaming, into Clash. It's just like, well, okay, great. We start 0-3, and now this is the time for them to bounce back, and they've done just that. Obviously came back strongly. Actually, the game against Navi, I think, wasn't that the one that went literally to the last thing? Or was that EXO? I think maybe EXO.
That was extra creations, yes, in Playday 1. Yeah, that was a fantastic battle, and one that I'm sure come away, smiling about winning that one if they had. But EXO played very, very well to bring that one back, and as we said, the reverse sweep in that one. But yeah, I mean, the scorelines on the ones that they've won are pretty decent. We got 3-0 yesterday against the Fire Totem, and I'm sure no doubt looking to replicate that same thing again, because ultimately that does go a long, long way. Ultimately, if you have a pretty swift and easy time of things in your minds, then that's going to definitely carry on to your next games and have that positive mindset to draw.
We'll just get the game ready to go in just a moment.
Hopefully we'll just get the game ready to go in just a moment.
For the players to get themselves ready to go. First game of the day was the case.
First game of the day was the case, of course. Everybody's got their time set to go. So split to start with here, the hot zone map.
There's a cat about to come across.
I love it. Which one? Is it Rocky?
I love it. Which one? Is it Rocky?
Tail of my face. That's it.
Just leave that tail in my face. That's it. Just leave that tail in my face.
That was like a
car wash washers.
Drag it across my face.
Just drag it across my face. Just like,
a little bit of powder on that, we can get
a little bit of powder on that, we can get, be touched up in the process.
Makeup wipe.
a little bit of makeup wipe. That was Charlotte, my little girl. Actually, I say little girl. That's like the eldest cat we have. Had a big operation, bless her. But anyway, we're getting
what I was about to say before that happened.
What I was about to say before that happened is we're going on to Split. Obviously, the Hot Zone. We saw some real strong tactics from the likes of SK, obviously on Hot Zone yesterday. How do we see this one go?
I think for me, Casey's shown more often than not recently that he's really drawn to that surge pick as Stellar ban, so I think that he might consider that one. That would be my go-to. I really think that Brawler here can thrive, and we saw Skyrex today for SK Gaming making that Brawler show how strong it is in the current meta. Not really a bannable offense in that respect, but still one that is very worthy of considering and paying attention to and not being those stats. For me, I like a Rico, but we have seen a lot of roughs as well to break open some of those middle lanes to really kind of like level out the playing field a little bit. Some practice today as well, so some of the tanky brawlers are still kind of making an appearance here. For me, I'd be going Rico. That's my go-to.
I suspect Ruffs.
I suspect Ruffs. I think Ruffs is almost a staple diet for any Hot Zone map. Just obviously based on the super, he's got the ability to basically hold them himself effectively. Obviously, and A can be a strong brawler in himself.
But let's have a look at what the
players have gone with. The game is ready to go.
Looking forward to seeing their choices. Let's see. So yeah, search for Noble Elite, I think is smart, as well as the Ruffs and Neutralizer there. M as well as a great deterrent with any of the tankier choices.
With next one thing. And now, of course, we're going to see on. Right, getting around there. Already managed to lock out the majority of theirs, but then Andre comes in, clears out Spen, and now Noble Elite, after wrecking just about every wall that's available, will take control.
Casey's getting his stacks, that side will goes down. I think it's pretty wise because Tom's using it obviously to hide behind, but I think that Tribe now needs to up the pace. Really, this is their last moment now, as Noble Elite have done a really fantastic job of tapping these zones. They've got to defend this left-hand side now, as John on the bottom there is going to see the backside of that supply drop coming in from Spen. Will Andre survive this, goes down quickly, and the ticket will remain then, and that's going to be good use for Tom to be able to utilise now as he's fallen in from Noble Elite. The tankiness is the question. Can Tribe take them down quick enough? Because there's a lot of HP behind Noble Elite right now.
They've managed to clear both of them out. They have managed to do it. 90% that they are chasing it right now, and they have to get in the faces. As you say, Melny coming in on that flank is so tanky. They did manage to lock John up and take John down quickly. If they can focus on Melny, they get him down. Andre's going to be next, and that may just be enough for Tribe. The respawns are coming through. There's a lot of work to be done here. You can see John trying to get in his face. He instantly goes down, and Tribe will come out on top.
Oh no!
94% for the majority of that. Incredible turnaround.
Fantastic one. I mean, they could not go down. They had to all work together for that one because Jackie and Frank coming towards you is a dangerous thing about Poco. And this is what we see sometimes in Hot Zone. It's fascinating when we do because it requires so much composure. The comebacks are possible. You got to believe and you got to keep on your feet. That's the two things to keep for consideration. But again, I still wonder where the Noble Elite are playing today.
Подчу, чтобы вытащить была.
An upset if Noble Elite can continue this kind of pressure.
Yeah, and it just felt like Noble Elite, they were coming one by one on the respawn. They weren't waiting for them to group up and go as a team. Like if John would have just waited a second for Frank to come up behind him, which was Melny, they would have gone as a two, but instead every time it was John going in, getting picked off, and then straight away going into it. Either way, they're tied up, one apiece in the first set. Let's see how this one transitions.
Teamwork makes the dream look bright for KC, Poco for Tom, and Bull for Spen, but this time we're going with the Poco pick, and that's where I felt like Noble Elite didn't really consider enough in the last game. Nice match from KC to break open a lot of grassy area as well, and that will provide no stone unturned for everyone jumping in. The jump pad's in a good spot for Noble Elite, but at the same time, KC, I just cannot see Noble Elite touching the left-hand side.
It's definitely going to be a full Frank-off, I feel here. Melny's going to try and land the stun down. That's going to get countered. Does get caught out. Casey gets in, but in comes John on the reply. Instant stun comes in. Melny is stunned out, but nothing Tom could do to try and back that one up. 3 hit points just taken down. But while that's all happening, of course, Mobil have locked out the right-hand side. Now the left side locked out by Tribe as well. So they've done a great job of taking both control, but it is Mobil in control here. Melny gets one, gets two. The slam comes in, but in comes Spen. Now Tom coming around the side, and KC, Tom trying to do what he can to just sidestep all of Melny can do, and just about makes it work. And are they going to surely chain it all again?
Oh my word. I mean, this is a great pick from Spen, and one that we don't ever see him play very often, not at least with this year's match. We saw a little bit of it last year, but the coordination from the Tribals right now, despite the lead, the question now is this takedown on the left-hand side, can Mobil make a comeback? There's not much in it at all now. John goes down, 4% is all that's left. This is surely going to be Mobil Elite.
No, they can't keep them off it. Great work there from Andre. Just knock them off the zone, keep the control, and in the end, Mobil Elite take the first set in the series here on Hot Zone. So we're going to be moving over to Super Stadium next for the Brawl Ball. But what a great game.
Fantastic stuff for both sides. I mean, this is the thing. I think this is quite an even matchup at the moment. Tribe were not playing that last game badly. It's that Mobil Elite capitalized on the early stages better, and there's some really aggressive plays from Tribe, but it's very rare to see an underdog like Mobil Elite being able to take that kind of pressure and respond accordingly. And such a fantastic day yesterday. They've definitely got a bit of winning on their side today that's definitely showing through for me.
Absolutely, solid performance for them. Obviously, both Tribe and Applied Totem on 2-0-3 right now. So, you know, this is a real big step for them. Currently Tribe holding based on their score difference, right? That's the only reason they're sitting in that fourth spot right now. And the fourth spot we talked about, that's the hot spot. That's where you want to be going forward. And Applied Totem could take it from Tribe here if they keep this up. They get the first set. But now moving on to Brawl Ball, how are we going to change things up? What are we going to go with there? Obviously, we start to see the bruises coming in. I'm gonna say we're gonna see an M's here of some variety, maybe on both sides, just to counter the fact that we may see the Franks.
Yeah, I think that'd be a wise choice to consider for sure. I think we saw some Sprat yesterday as well as which I think he worked really well here as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tom or Casey going towards that particular one, or Barley. Tom likes a lot of Barley as well. From Mobil Elite, I mean, again, I think I'm correct to they actually were playing Sprat yesterday as well, but I could be wrong. But they have definitely... They've definitely got a lot of variety to their idea. So, I mean, I think some tanks would be a go-to here. I think it could be an option. We've already seen Tribe experimenting with that idea. But I think if Mobil do, they've got to consider Poker a bit more weight, so they were able to...
Barley on the right side, actually very different comps. So we've got the M's obviously along with the Barley. It's the Sprout. I was about to say it's Tit, but it is Sprout. Just double check it. I never know, and I can never quite tell. Sometimes the skins can kind of fool me sometimes, but I got most of these covered. And of course the B, of course, for Spen.
Yeah, this is a pretty similar comp to what Tribe's run in the past, that long game approach, having the B in the target there. Down those KCs, put a lot of pressure on the healing.
Great start for Mobil Elite. Opening things up, getting the early goal, and back to where they started here. So really interesting choices working out well. That's going to be the super coming out from Andre. Tossing out. There's Monleys. It's going to force them back and buy time for Melny. So double thrower comp seems to be working out. Ooh, Cindy got sniped down there by Spen and Tom. Spen's going to try and push on forward. Got to be careful. That ball is a hot spot in itself at the moment. It's going to make sure they get control of it. Try and lead it forward. But now John's going to be the focus target. That's
простите за
shot, trying to make them work. They're not going to happen. Now it's going around the sideline. It's dangerous for the throwers, of course, because you can put the real pressure down. There's going to be the block, but it's not enough, and Tom will walk it over the line.
That S superiority from the rest of our
No, keep moving me. No, please. Пожалуйста, толщите.
Utilizing that right hand side, opening up the map, letting Spen and Casey shine and do their thing. And I feel like as time goes on now, I was going to say prior to that goal that Tribe was an overtime based comp, but they've got to get there. Well, now they're one step closer to getting there, and if they continue. Keep this up and can hold.
No, 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 no.
For a little bit longer.
Just keep
These
Hydrops
coming in to give that buff over to everyone on the team. Then that's going a long way from them in overtime.
Great use of the ricochet there from Tom, making it work, keeping both Melny and Andre back at the moment. Now, overtime, 10 seconds away, and as you mentioned, this definitely falls into the favourite tribe in overtime. Obviously, those throwers are going to have to be super accurate, which is why we've got John switching over against the tile on the right here, and keep KC back, but now the ball's coming through.
A lot of damage had he gone on the aggressive, but he was able to keep his distance in mind, and it went very well for Tribe in the day, but a stressful situation. Nobody are continuing to place that pressure on them.
Absolutely. See whether they can keep it up now, because obviously they are still one set down, despite the fact they just won the first game in this Brawl Ball set. Now, what sort of adjustments could we make in that one? The rough set definitely worked very well there for Tom over on the left-hand side. Don't know whether Spen's going to maybe even change the B up there. Obviously, the M's being used. I think M's was pretty strong on the left there. I'm just wondering if they're going to switch one of those throwers out. Probably keep hold of Sprout, maybe switch Barley out.
Be a team as well. We know likes to play a lot of Gene, but I feel like, yeah, they were going to stick with this. This is quite a common comp they've used in the past, and one which they know it struggles a little bit in that early stages, but in the later stages it can really come into play, so they can hold control, then it will work out well for them. I like the adaptations that we're seeing as well from Noble Elite here, going with the B and the Ruffs as well, and just playing more or less the mirror matchup aside from the M's and Tara, but let's see how they fare this time.
Yeah, so Noble Elite feel they have it in the bag to try and turn this around, but Tom already finds Melny around the side there. Cindy has to try and step across, but instantly takes shots from both Spen and Tom. Works well. Casey getting in a dangerous position, does manage to hit that super. Melny gets taken down, but he managed to get Spen out. Now, can they get the ball across? They can. They sneak it through. You just think it's safe, but Tom finds the angle and slips the ball in. 1-0.
Was deja vu from the first round goal, it's going to be said, and yeah, nobody still didn't pay attention to that S-Period to stop how Spen trying to look for a shot. The takedown the way through from John as well. Andrew just managed to catch it, but this is where Tribe want to stay. They want to hold control here. Getting out these spawns can be a difficult thing now as well, so if they can hold the control of the mid, then it could be a good thing. So nobody really need to get a couple of takedowns here. They can make it a 3 versus 2. It'll go a long, long way, and that's a start from Mojo on the left-hand side. Superiority supply drop coming in for Melny to capitalize on the damage buff and HP buff. Can they make this go? They got 1 minute to do it.
They needed to get Spen down. I feel that's where Andre and Meldy were trying to get the pressure down on Spen. It didn't work out. He dodged most of the shots. And now you can see Andre on his back foot, gets taken down. Meldy and Spen will trade blows. But that puts Cindy all alone at the moment on the line, trying to wait for those respawns to come in. Cindy takes a shot to the face. Now you can see Greg once again keeping the pressure on. Casey doing a fantastic job at just keeping them guessing on that sidelines. And now it buys time for Tom to push up. Cindy looking around the side there. I feel like Spen's thinking about having a cheeky little shot through the middle there. It's certainly doable. There's the shot. The goal opens up. Spen wants to run straight into the ball and shoot, but it's not going to work out. Just needs to clear them out. Andre's going to be the focus fire. Melny will go down. The respawn comes back in. Casey tries to run it over the line, but it doesn't work out, and John gets it, but he's got 10 seconds to score.
Oh, Tom intercepted lovely and nicely down there, because I wasn't sure whether he had the angle there, because he was coming back and sort of had that hesitation there, and just about called it in the nick of time. I think they may have been called on the respawn anyway, but either way, it could have been a chance for Noble Elite there, but Tribe will bring this one back, getting their flow, it seems.
Yeah, so all tied up once again, just as it was in the first set. First set went to Noble Elite. Now we'll see, though, Tribe definitely in the driving seat here. And this is where Tom just snuck that ball in the side there. Quite nice and easy. As you say, that Esperoti working wonders.
Yeah, I feel like at the moment they're just starting to really start to synergize and think things through a little bit, bring down the pace of the game and just kind of think through their decision making. And there's a couple of times when I saw chances to maybe get a double full on Tara and various other things, but this is the way that Tribe seems to be playing for me at the moment, just taking it down a notch and just thinking things through, making sure that the right decisions are made, and that's going a long, long way. But the question is, will Noble Elite be able to come back? They still got a lot of fight left in them. Having a new game mode might be the very thing to ignite some of that in the energy.
Absolutely. Let's see what they're going to change here. Obviously, the only difference really was the Ems and the Tara previously, so Noble Elite switching things up and maybe balancing. I just wonder if either of these teams is going to maybe take a gamble and change something up quite drastically, see whether it can work out. For Noble Elite, they definitely felt like they were on the back foot throughout the entirety of that game.
Yeah, they didn't seem like they were really that well connected in terms of just getting out of spawns. You know, they did make that one attempt towards the end, but I feel like if they had maybe been able to hold a bit more mid-control and just kind of, they weren't really confirming a lot of their kills. A lot of the times when they did, I saw a lot of double kills actually, and it was happening on both sides, which just didn't really change too much in terms of the dynamic. They really need to apply more pressure on Tribe, put them in more circumstances of like a 1 versus 3 at the end, where we saw Tom trying to get back onto the defense. That would have been something to kind of ruffle their feathers a little bit more than it did, and you know, Tom was able to get so much value off the back of that rough star power, that air superiority, breaking down a lot of cover, and we didn't really see that same idea really from Noble Elite.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but okay. Wasn't that tied? I thought it was 1 apiece. Am I losing my marbles?
No, I think you might be losing your marbles.
Oh no, of course I am, because it was 1-0. Yes, of course it was. I am losing my marbles. It was 2-0. So we're tied at 1 apiece in sets. It was what I was trying to get to. But yes, okay, let's see what they brought to the table here. So the ball comes out. There is the Rico. This is I think we had this one yesterday. I feel like Clash maybe played this one yesterday. I don't. There's a lot of games been going on. My brain's kind of shot right now. But the Melanie on the Frank is just going to block and try and tank out that siege as much as he can. John will go down, and that's going to open things up drastically for Tribe to get the damage down. 43% and done already. And they're going to get the bolt. So 26 seconds shouldn't be too much of a problem.
The smash doesn't connect here. I like the Rico pick. It's not like the strongest meta-wise, but one that I think can work out quite well there. Nice take down the left-hand side from John. Casey rocking the Surfer Carl skin, so we know he's got the battle pass. Let's see whether the spin can connect with the super. Not really mounted, showed a good sign of going for the cover there. The bolt on the right will not be banked by Casey. Andre goes to pick that one up. So a push coming in for Noble Elite, but actually now, having said that, Spen gets the takedown and puts it back in the pocket of Tribes. Nonetheless, the push needs to be defended.
Yeah, this is a big push coming out. Let's see what they can do with it, because you can see Spen already managing to get plenty of shots in the back there. We'll finally go down, but I feel this is not going to be as much damage as they would require. And of course, the bulk difference very much in Tribe's favor now. So as they try and push out, there's the super coming out from Tom to try and push them back, force them away from that central area. Melanie going to get focused, but has got a tank full of hit points. And now they try and go aggressive on there. You can see KC on the Carl trying to make it work. That's not the Carl. It is the Carl. It's just a funky skin, that's all. And John, though, this ball's been working for Noble Elite here. They've got tied up. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They need to get that bolt back. Should be enough. No, they couldn't quite get it back. It's Tribe that turned 2 in. And that was so close to being a tie. But now, really, the game should go to Tribe.
That was just in the nick of time there from Tom as a result. Now, surely the bodies can get within. Yeah, and that is going to be a dominant end, but a very close game. It's got to be said to get to that point. Noble Elite was standing their ground in that mid. It went down to the final millisecond to confirm that final push.
Very, very close. I'm going to look, see. I didn't see who picked it up, because I only saw, obviously, we were only looking on the south side, so we only saw Noble Elite holding the bolt. I didn't see what Tribe had. Oh, we're not going to get to see the bolts, okay. But yes, solid performance from them. It was actually SK Big we had this map on yesterday, so I knew I'd seen it yesterday. But that game SK dominated and actually switched some serious comps there. And we kind of semi-saw the same from Noble Elite, obviously bringing the Frank to the table. But Tribe were having none of that.
Yeah, they were utilizing their range. I think that, again, this is a reason why I really like Rico. It gives you the options to use the walls, or when they're broken down, if that happens, then, well, you're able to keep at your distance. And, you know, brawlers like Frank feed Rico so much. So it's a great deterrent to a lot of those ideas. We've helped Primo out the mix. That's the important ban there to be able to play that particular brawler, because ultimately Primo can jump on your head and you're pretty squidgy for the most part playing Rico. But yeah, it worked out pretty well. It's a decent comp. I think that Noble Elite might reconsider those kind of big brutes going into our next game, especially if Tribe want to continue the same idea of going for range, and I think that's the way to go. I think Tom will probably stay on the stay on the Barley for control. That's a brawler which he's quite comfortable with in Siege, and it has a lot of healing abilities or slowing abilities for defensive purposes. So that would be a staple diet for me. But you know, they like to mix things up as well. Despite getting a win, that might not be the thing which makes them want to recycle that same idea. They might want to mix things up.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, if you think of, say, the way SK do it, they'll just completely change it up and keep you guessing. I wonder whether Tribe are maybe going to try that and shift things out. Based on what they've done in the previous maps, I would say they're just, you know, if they have made any adjustments. Yes, the Bull in there, the Frank in there, and the Carl, of course. And the only difference is Andre's actually switched over to the Barley now. And Tribe have obviously removed it.
Yeah, and I think the Carl pick here is a great one for Tribe. It means that you can go in and get that early bolt, and it's going to be a tricky thing with Andre trying to take Casey down really here, especially with the amount of evasion purposes and qualities that he's got to his disposal. John there on the left-hand side, pushing through Tom was the smart move there because he invaded the smash as a result, but this push has got to be defended. There's a couple of bolts in the bank for Noble Elite going into the next matchup. Tom coming in as he needs to go on the aggressive a little bit here. There's some bolt deficit to account for.
Zero damage.
Round.
Yeah, zero damage done. I mean, you think of it, last time, obviously, they got it down to, what, 46%, I think, in the first pass. This time, not getting in close, and of course, they didn't have the Rico to back it up, right? You can't throw that Rico super in there, just keep bursting down that Ike. It's not going to be enough for them this time around. Now Casey trying to keep them at base. And they keep them at base. Ben doing a great job at avoiding and mitigating most of the damage there from Melanie. Casey comes in, spins the win, does take Melanie down. And now Andre's going to get forced back here because as soon as his cover goes away, the Barley is going to be so delicate. But it is going to be Noble Elite's first attack with the ball.
Great chance for them. They got the Barley as well. That, to me, is a key brawler, which I think Tribe maybe made a bit of a miss with. It's one of those brawlers which can get damaged regardless as to where you are under push. You can still come back in order to defend the next round. And here we go with the smashes. Everyone from Tribe is down. This is looking like a gnarly push. Coming in, Melanie with the hammer swipes. The Barley last calls. And that will be it for that second round of Siege. Noble Elite made that push count.
Yeah, that was solid. That was a big, solid push. And you know what? I think we're going to go the distance all the way through this game. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 3-2 down to the final set. It's definitely looking like both these teams have it in the bag to try and push for it. But we're tied up once again, 1-1 in the set. And let's see what changes they can make. As you mentioned, I feel that the Barley switch off possibly for Tribe maybe was a mistake.
Yeah, it just means that if, you know, in that instance there, if Tribe were all on their feet, then, you know, Andrew could just kind of be lobbing and focusing his damage directly onto the Ike and having his many members of the team kind of just going in for the aggression purposes, and he would still be able to come back to defend the next round for the bolts if they didn't get enough behind the push. But it was quite apparent going in that with everyone of the team wipe being down, that they were just able to easy pick the Ike, and everyone committed. And I think it was the right call to make, as we know, because they won. And you know, it looked like a strong push coming in. I think Tribe might want to consider going back to their first comp. If Noble Elite are going to be kind of stubborn to continue this kind of tanky idea, then having the Carl to get that first bolt, which is going to obviously go to then encourage the first push. Having Barley for control and damage, if you get the first push to get the damage, and then having Rico for the range to then counter the tanks. Could be the way to go next.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tribe just revert back to what they did in the first game, honestly. Yeah. You know, it worked so well, and actually, if you think of that comp, it would work against what we just saw Noble Elite pulling out as well. Obviously, Noble Elite making those adjustments based on it. So, we'll see in just a moment. I definitely think the Barley change was good, you know. I love to see these teams, I'm just saying, because my fiance is next to me, I love to see these teams playing Barley, because every time I play it, I get complained at. Maybe just because I'm crap on it, I don't know. Oh, God, you're not going to play Barley again, are you?
Come on, he's the bartending Brit. We got a batch for our fellow gentlemen.
I think it's more that I'm just bad at it. Yeah. All right, I'll go back to playing Rosa. Fine.
Yeah, it's a really that's Star Brawler, you know, and the choice of gadgets as well as Star Powers. Star Powers tends to be more edged towards the extra Noxus for the damage purposes. The pros are pretty good at, you know, being able to close the gap when they need to, but also not overcommit too much on the thrower. You really have to stay on your feet and be that core backbone for your team. So mainly in the gadget side of things, you know, having sticky syrup mix is a great gadget to have on defense to slow the bot, allow the Ike to connect more frequently, to take the big brute down quicker than you would otherwise be able to, and then the healing tonic for, you know, placing down the healing and keeping your teammates all able to control the mid with the bolts. It's one of those brawlers which cases both of those ideas in Siege, so it depends on your playstyle really.
We'll see what they're doing. I saw a ball, I think, along with the ball and the
qualities then from to consider, and obviously the magic hand for the Paul's Thomas missed that. Oh, the link to KC, which is the wise thing to do. He was low on health anyway, so it made sense to do that. And already the first push coming in for Tribe, so the early signs are good. I think this is a great time to bring out the Rico as well, with the ball there being as well and able to, you know, attack Gene from a longer range. This could be a great chance for Tribe. Like KC just going in with the Stomper gadget as well for the slowdown. What a great start from Tribe. They're not going to be able to finish, I don't think, but that is a chunky amount of damage early on.
Yeah, 65% with just a level 3 bot. You've got to be happy with that. They're already on the bot collection, way ahead of Noble Elite, so they will be able to get that second bot out almost likely as Ball just goes piling through there. Casey putting the damage down, but it wasn't backed up by Spen, and now John chases down Tom over on the right-hand side, gives him a little bit of control, but as you can see, 6-2, they're going to have to collect those bolts really quickly. I don't think they're even going to spawn quick enough for them to get a hold of this one. And now Tribe coming back out of the spawn will gain control and, of course, get that next bot.
Tribe are going to want to try to tie this up here. They can still hold the control, but we did see there, you know, Noble Elite did bring it back. A nice defensive there, friend zone from Tom, and then the support with Spen. Casey coming as well, a lot of health. I see from the side of Tribe, and that is going to be it. Tribe then will take the second set and have one over on Noble Elite.
I gotta question what John just did there on the ball, using that super to charge out at the end when you really kind of needed it to defend. It just basically left, obviously, Spen on the Rico completely open, so he's just like, fine, I'll just unload my super onto your Ike. It was, yeah, look at him, he's up the top there. John's up the top there. Went chasing after Tom, I think, there.
He wants to go in on Tom because if he can close the gap, then Ems is really weak in those close proximities. But unfortunately, Tom had super, so it just only served to slow him down and put him out of position. And, you know, he really needed to get that takedown to defend the push regardless. So I can see why. I think that either way you look at it, Tribe just had it on lockdown. And those kind of takedowns needed to happen before the bot was in the position where he was in. Obviously, the respawns are so brutal now since the update. Players and teams need to really consider those aggressive plays. They can be very rewarding, but they can also be very damaging also. So you've got to find the balance.
Yeah, the big plays can sometimes backfire. So now 2-1 advantage goes over to Tribe Gaming as we move on to Shooting Star for next game, which will be on the Bounty. Now remember, Bell is banned. It does mean obviously Piper is almost likely on the cards as we move on to a Bounty game. Almost a staple diet. Should we have Shooting Star yesterday? I believe we did.
So this is the thing.
Oh no, we didn't get to it.
Yesterday they played Pam on Shooting Star, they played Leon on Shooting Star.
Oh yes.
Pretty much everything that wasn't like, you know, our traditional lineup. I think Piper, Danny, and the standard go-to. I think we're going to see Noble Elite experiment and try to throw off Tribe with their comps here because they like to try out some weird and wacky.
For Noble Elite, meanwhile, we're going to have it's the Ruffs, the Max, and who else is in there? I can't see them underneath everything. I think it's a B that's under there, isn't it? And the pile
Gene as well. They've got the Gene, the Ruffs, the Gene, the missed pull as well. It's interesting.
Gene, yes.
Because like Tribe here have I've kind of like almost anticipated a little bit what Noble Elite were thinking from probably watching them yesterday, because we saw this exact comp, the Max, the Gene, and the Pam, and it worked out really well for Noble Elite. They got the win with it, so we're going to see now.
Oh my God! And that is going to be John down, and Melanie now the last man standing. Doesn't matter, job done. It just felt like, for me, from Noble Elite, there was a lot of damage coming out, but none of it was focused. It was all just like on the blob, and I think Tribe were doing a really good job at rotating and mitigating who was blocking damage.
Yeah, and being very calm and composed under those big pinches. Noble Elite there, honestly, that is a dangerous place to find yourself, because that is going to lead to nothing but a team wipe. With one misplay, all 3 players go down, so you've really got to make sure that you play those moments right. We saw that same idea. This comp from Noble Elite is designed to really hurt everyone, and they do it very, very well. It's got to be said. I don't really see any other team going in with that kind of approach and shooting style, so it's really interesting to see. And this is the only time that they've really kind of done it where it hasn't worked out, as far as I know. And Tribe's looking very cool under pressure, and now they're on match point.
Yeah, we'll see what they change here, whether the Pam maybe switches, get the Piper in there, because if they sort of bundled in that corner like that, we would see a Piper having a field day, just sniping them off left and right, as you mentioned. It was close, I feel, for Tribe there. When you see someone backed in a corner like that, you just feel, okay, the end is coming. You're about to get wiped out here, and possibly even spawn capped as well, because, you know, once they're pushed up into a corner like that, generally it falls apart. So whether we see the changes come through, just to remind you guys of the bans, as obviously it's been a while since we mentioned those. For them so far, it was Bell Primo banned out for Noble Elite, and Stu and Primo banned out for Tribe Gaming. Of course, blind bans, which is why we got double Primos in there. Let's see what they bring to the table. What changes will they make? Nothing.
Well, yeah, nothing Noble Elite. I think. From playing Bell, that could be a mistake.
Tom, that's a default loss, son.
That could be a default loss. Yeah.
That's a default win for Noble Elite there, I think. You know, I just said, let's just remind us what they banned for that reason. And I think Tom needed a bit of reminding there. So that is a default loss, judging by generally how the rules were, yes. Today, default loss. One apiece.
See whether what did they try with it? On Mobil, he might be indicating there with the drop of the pin that he's realised. But a nice ball from Spen. Again, these leads and these stars won't matter, because the winner's going to go to Noble Elite. But it's kind of curious to see whether Tribe are going to play this one still, or whether Noble Elite are going to use it as practice. Really, ultimately, it will give a bit of knowledge towards the next game. It gives Tribe the awareness that Noble Elite are being stubborn with the comp. So they may have learned something from this. But at the same time, the win, and that's the most important thing, will go in the way of Noble Elite.
Yeah, I mean, it was a change they could have made, and as I said, could have gone with the Piper. Interesting to see that Noble Elite decided to stay with the same comp as well. So, yeah. So, just to remind you guys at home, the bans, of course, to just clarify, Noble Elite banned out Bell and Primo, and Tribe banned out Stu and Primo. And, of course, because Tom has selected Bell, it will mean it's going to be a default loss. Just for this one.
Still trying to build the stars up as maybe like a war paint for the next round, perhaps. Kind of trying to dampen the egos of Noble Elite. Again, all these stars, there's a crime pin from Spen. And I hope it's because they realise that they played the Battle Brawl, not because they feel like they've got the victory, because that could be kind of awkward.
Yeah. Bit of a whoopsie from Tom there. So, just a scrim, just to practice, because we're not on the long broadcast as it is. Running through to 11:30 in the production over in Australia, running through the night. They're fine. They're fine. They love it when we have these sort of problems. Let's have a replay of it. Why not? Because the game didn't count.
I mean, this is why we see Bell being banned so much, because ultimately, if you're unfortunate enough to not consider it as a choice when she's on the cards, and you're up against that, it's honestly a really, really tricky thing, especially against players like Jean with that Magic Puff star power. That's a star power in itself that people want to get beneath and utilize. Same with Ruffs and the air superiority, or rather their field promotion. And that's the reason. She's really, really deadly. But yeah, a bit of a miss from Tribe. They would have liked to have secured things there as a result. This is the chance for Noble Elite to take away their match point and take it to enough game mode.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, I'm not sure if Piper would actually work now, judging by how Bell played out there. Bell obviously works because Bell has the shield, whereas Piper won't have that. Now Piper wants to use the super to blow away the cover. Well, you're blowing your own cover generally, especially with the way the game's played out. The last two times, they've pretty much been penned back. So we'll see how this one works out when they change it. Noble Elite look like they want to stay stubborn. They don't want to change anything.
Yeah, and I think that's like something that Tribe needs to consider when it comes to that Piper idea, because going on the aggressive against the Sprout, you really struggle to land a lot of those shots. You really want to keep your distance, and which you can do on Shooting Star. It's definitely an option. I think Tick's probably the more go-to option here, just simply because of the ability to defend yourself when you are up and close and personal with something like a People, something along those lines, with the last hurrah gadget or your Tick head super. So it's an option. We have seen it. It can work. It's just very difficult to maintain the control, especially when you look at how Noble Elite are going on the aggressive so much. I think we don't tend to see as a playstyle. It's what we said in Shooting Stars. So yeah, Tribe are at the moment reading it pretty well, and I wonder now whether Noble Elite will try to do something about that idea. Now that Tribe are caught on, bring out the Leon, I would say, would be a great shout for them.
Yeah, I think obviously if they stuck with the the Ruffs, sorry, stick with the Ruffs. Yeah. Actually, maybe bring the Rico in, because obviously we know Spen could play that very well, and maybe switch it out that way. But obviously, at the moment, I'm just thinking of the fact is they have been penned into that top right-hand corner by Noble Elite, despite the fact they won the first game. Obviously, now they find themselves tied at one apiece, which is probably why we got delays, because I guess Tribe are like, wait, what? What just happened? Why are we not moving on? Wait, oh no! We played the band.
They were left the server and they're getting pinged, like, come back.
Come back, you have not won this. Yeah, get yourselves back there. Yeah, I mean, there's a strong chance now, obviously, with this being, well, it is match point, obviously, for Tribe still. But it is technically also a chance to go to Kaboom Canyon, which would be Heist if they go there next.
Yeah, that's it could be a really costly mistake actually for Tribe if they don't really hunker down this next game and really make it count. And again, I do worry on that side of things, because Noble Elite just it's rare that you see a team like Tribe pushed way back into a corner on Bounty, and that's where the Ruffs pick I think has got to stay. Having that field promotion there to increase the HP of everyone, then they can hunker down in those instances where they're under that kind of herding pressure from Noble Elite. That's what's going to keep them alive, and I think that they can't take out the Ruffs, especially if Noble Elite go in with that same idea, bringing in the Pam and bringing in those other brawlers like Max to really be on the super aggressive. They've got to be very careful now, because this could be tied up very quickly and go from a potential winning opportunity to a really, really difficult scenario to come back from.
If you're just wondering why we're waiting, we're just waiting for the players. Obviously, they are remaking the lobby because they thought they'd finished the game and not realized we played a banned brawler. That was a big boo-boo. So once Tribe get themselves sorted back out, of course, they are playing the next game, so I guess they're looking to try and shuffle on as quickly as they can, because they're playing Big next, right? Yeah, it is. Oh yes, this is of course the back-to-back. Playday 4 and 5. We basically have the exact same schedule, Playday 4 and 5. So what you're seeing right now, we will have the exact same next Tuesday as well. All these matches will play out. Yes, so we'll obviously have Noble Elite Tribe rematch and all the way through the day, obviously, which is why they're going through there. Yeah, and I don't think it was a misclick. I like, as chat has pointed out, I think it was just literally they chose it and just completely forgot that it was bad.
It was somebody
somewhere needs to write them down. Maybe I'm just going to say in future Tribe that could be a possibility.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's perfect that you read it out when you did, because you know, sometimes, you know, the bans happen at the beginning and you don't really ever see them again on the overlay. So, you know, people out there, you know, and ourselves included, may have just, you know, thought that, you know, nothing of it and just continued till the end. It would have been as much a surprise to us than as it was to everyone else, but we were able to spot it really early on. So yeah, I mean, it's one of these brawlers which I think is so much of a go-to, you know, on Shooting Star nowadays as well, as opposed to the Piper picks as well. I think now the meta's kind of shifting away from a little bit of what we expect to see normally. Maybe Bell's making a bit more of a statement in that area, but yeah, regardless of that, we're not going to see. We're going to see an Amber coming in though for Noble Elite this time round, and Gene for Spen. The roughs there. Oh, a quick takedown from Noble Elite. Tom didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, so the Gene working well, and obviously the Amber now for Melanie as well. That puts a lot of damage down onto KC. KC trying to put that damage down on the side there. Looking, keep my eye on those magic hands possibly going to come out at the moment. It's Tribe that have been the ones putting the pressure on this time around, and rightly so, because they are chasing it while they have the blue star. They are 2-1 down at the moment. This, of course, would take it to a 5th set if we required it. At the moment, of course, Tribe 2-1 up, all tied, 1 apiece here. And now this is to what we were talking about before. It's dangerous to get backed in the corner. The magic hand comes out from Spen. It grabs a hold of Melanie. Thank you very much. Hit and run and Tribe back away.
Very good comp choice, though, it's got to be said. Both sides of the same idea. And now the pull though from Spen, and the pickup was there. 4-star lead now for Tribe. But Casey's looking weary there, has to be forced back. He's got the blue star as well, so got to take that into consideration also. Hints from Spen would suggest confidence, but Andrew's got a pull here, and this game's got plenty more length left to go. Definitely the tankiness here from that field promotion will go a long way, but if Audrey can connect, and then it becomes a 3 versus 2, and Spen missed his pull, that's going to be a real problem for Tribe. They don't recover that from that super quickly. Supply truck going down as well will give Audrey a bit more power to his punch, so I think that I like the way this is heading for Noble Elite, actually.
I think Andre's looking to try and get hold of KC, judging by the way he's been positioning and poising himself, or maybe just saving it for that final last hurrah to try and collect somebody off guard. Of course, a couple of 3 stars in there, so they would have to get 2 kills to try and turn this one around. 10 seconds to go here. This is when it gets a little bit silly. Let's see how it's going to work out, because Noble Elite are taking a lot of damage, and there is the big pull, and it's Andre they caught a hold of. Tribe make no bones about this one. They will win the series 3-1.
Very competent and composed, despite that early loss then in that first game. They were able to bring it back, and I gotta say though, I think that Tribe would be feeling that it was much of a fight, and not being intimidated by teams like Tribe that have got such a big track record behind them. So, I mean, I've got to say, despite nobody losing the game, I'm very impressed with how they performed so far today.
Well, Tribe, of course, not done just yet. They're going to be moving on to the next matchup. That's when they're going to be facing Big as well in what could be a nice back-to-back for them. We'll see how it works out. That puts them on 3.
Teams that you face, especially as we progress into the challenge season, when the caliber of the teams are going to be, you know, pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we always like look over teams, watch VODs, and always look to improve, and hopefully look to show it off.
Well, what team has surprised you the most during the ESL Mobile Open? Like one of your competitors that maybe you didn't expect to be quite so good, and they really surprised you?
And FA Trio was one of them. Like they was actually grinding for it, and they managed to get a lot of wins as well.
So what are your expectations for this tournament then? Going into the challenge season, who do you think is going to be your toughest opponent?
And there's in EU right now, like there's quite a lot of good teams. For example, EXO, SK Gaming, Clash, Totem. So like we're not taking no games lightly, and hopefully we can get some W's.
Well, you sound quietly confident, I think, sat over there. Now, is there anything that you'd like to say to your fans who have been supporting you throughout your journey before you...
ESL Mobile Challenge is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Mobile Challenge. I'm Lee Smith, and Lethal has decided to join us for this one, as Big will now face off against Tribe.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Noble Elite put up a pretty damn good fight earlier on. It was more than I anticipated. It just proves that yesterday it wasn't just a fluke. They're not having just a good day, maybe just having a good week. I'm not really too sure. But I think the interview which Noble Elite spoke about regarding everything which has been happening towards them in terms of like how they're progressing and how they're trying to hit that new plateau. They've got a wide variety of compositions they like to try out to see if they can make things work in terms of like in their favorship, like going against a lot of these teams. But they said they've got the pedigree in terms of skill there. It's just a matter of just being able to release it. And it seems to be working so far. Okay, yeah, sure, fair enough. They lost that last series against Tribe, but definitely was a much better series than a lot of us anticipated. But with Big versus Tribe now, I think it's going to...
Yeah, and for Big, they started off well. They were having decent games, but obviously yesterday was a bit of a rough one. 2 losses there. Nadine, Lars, and Sugar Snort for them. Some big plays. We had obviously had the interview with Nadine as well yesterday. We heard from him. So I mean, there's certainly a team that have impressed me so far. But yesterday they were that game against SK was brutal. That was a bit of a sore point, I think there, and it's definitely one they're going to want to forget about overnight. And sort of reset their minds coming into this Tribe game.
Yeah, don't blame him in the slightest. Yeah, not really not the best play day they had yesterday, but they could turn things around a little bit here. And Tribe's still looking to continue on the warpath and at least try their absolute best to make it to the top 4. They should do, really. It's what you expect from these teams. But you're talking about pictures here as well, D-Man. You got 1 out of 3 is not bad. Maybe 2 out of 3 next week.
We could snap Spend from one of his multitude of videos out there. And Casey, we just had an interview with. We could at least try and crop him out of that one, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, Tom's trying to look as hench as he can there, and we'll see. We'll see, of course, when we get them in there. But you guys know what they look like anyway. Yeah, there we go. Anyway. Let's see what we're going to have. Okay, we're starting things off on Snake Prairie for the bounty, then into Double Swoosh for the gems, into Sneaky Fields for the Brawl, Parallel Plays, the Hot Zone, and if we need it, Factory Rush for the Siege. Primo, double band out, Stu also, and I cannot remember who that is on the face.
Oh, Amber?
Is that Amber's face? Is that really Amber's face?
Well, anyway,
I recognise them so much better by in-game characters than I do for face characters, and for some reason, none of my links are working anymore. I think my computer's having a moment. There we go.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, sometimes I do get Purple Paradise with you. I'm glad we haven't had it. It's been a while now, but we're definitely overdue, yeah. Demon. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to come at some point in one of these series today, or maybe tomorrow. We'll have to see. Sorry, not tomorrow. Excuse me. It will be next week. But those are the bands. Pretty standard, I'll say. Primo, not surprised in the slightest. We do get a bit of a mixed bag. Even with the Stu, he is popping up like a lot more often compared to what we see normally. We've seen a lot less Poco so far. It's only been a couple of matches, don't get me wrong, but honestly, if that trend will continue to occur, considering a lot of these teams do like to avoid that Poco double tank compositions on more than one occasion. So, I've seen Stu a bit more often than we've seen in previous weeks. But again, like I said before, compared to last week, it's nice to see that a lot of these teams, all these players have actually been able to figure out, just an outline of what brawlers need to be banned coming to this matchup. Even on the very first day, we had a very good indication to lead him into a lot of these series. But, enough chatter as we're going to get into our first game in this second matchup today to see if Tribe can make it 2 for 2.
Where they played at some point, but SK definitely played it, I'm certain. Yes, it was Big Snake Prairie. Yeah, it was the one that SK kind of dominated on. start than play day 1 and 2. Yes, they had a rough play day 3, but honestly, I think coming into this one, this is going to be a close game.
Certainly is indeed. Nadine, normally one of the game changers on Big. Let's see what he can do here. He's done a huge amount for his team on multiple occasions. And Speak of the Devil does take down KC, so that's going to give him a little bit more leadway here. Tribe Blue Star as well. So Tribe need to not discover, but we need to try and figure out exactly how they can try and find a weakness in their setup. And it's going to be very, very tough, considering, as you can see now, KC and Spen looking to push along that right lane. And now you can see as well, Sugar just find a few shots back just to give them an indication to know that we are here when we're looking to stand our ground. But all three members still in that right lane. And this is going to come to that final engagement, D-Man.
Yeah, it can turn, but not just like that when Sugarsnort does manage to find himself the quick kill. And oh, what a beautiful play from Big. Absolutely pixel perfect right there. Big will take this one 16-3.
Something we'll do indeed. That was a little bit more one-sided than we expected. Still the first game of the set, so we'll see how things will pan out towards the end. But yeah, just a little bit surprised, just very methodical, very calculated, nothing really too out of the ordinary, just a very standard game for what we see time and time again on that map as well. So yeah, not really too much to dissect there.
No, that was one-sided. So, okay, Tribe, over to you. You know, they were pushed all the way by Noble Elite as well. But things started so well for Big already. And, you know, Nadine on the Piper can be pretty deadly. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's pretty cheeky with some of the shots he likes to pull off here and there. Definitely got the ball rolling at the very beginning and then just made matters worse, just doing so much damage. And then just, of course, Lars doing the excess damage afterwards or just being on clean-up duty. Just great stuff from Big, and this is exactly what we wanted to see from them. They got some really good players on this squad. It's just a matter of making it work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to see where they can lock this one back together, of course. I think, I don't think we're going to see any brawler changes. I don't. And maybe... No, I don't think. I don't. I was thinking maybe the Tara for an Ems, but I'm honestly, I'm not sure we're going to get anything like that. I think we're going to see pretty much the same all over again here. Just simply play better. It's 5-head play right there.
Yeah, it's all about your mechanics at the end of the day, isn't it? You know, your fundamentals to try and swing things around a little bit. I thought Tribe would come out of the woodwork and come out swinging strong to begin with, considering they just come out of that first win of the day in our first match of this play day, but instead Big are the ones who actually turn up looking pretty good here. And let's see if they can continue going on forward. Sugar on that left lane, keeping Spen back just a tad. Nadine just keeping tabs to find out exactly what is going to go on. He will get the trade on Casey, which is absolutely huge, but Spen is just in the middle of a crossfire here. Lars does take him down, and that's going to be his opportunity to pull all the way back with that blue star.
Yep, so 7-3, big start already once again, looking fantastic for them. And now Tom tries to get a peek, but takes a face full of cards from Lars as he tries his approach. And well, Big are starting to back it up here. It's a little bit dangerous, but now look at them. They're going hunting around the left-hand side to try and focus onto KC, but it doesn't work in the end. Lars is the one that gets focused, and that's the blue star stolen away by Tribe there. And again, the super popped out, demolished the majority of that grass, and now put the pressure onto Big to make the move.
Yeah, he was the last person to want to get taken down, shall we say. But now Tribe have that defensive setup going. Casey takes down Nadine there, which is a bit uncharacteristic of Big to make a mistake like that. Lars almost cleaned up as well, left on 768 HP. And now they've got to try and find that opening to exploit here. But it's very, very difficult on this map, considering Tribe are so aware of the situation, just constantly firing back to see if they do make any early pushes. Casey got that right lane completely cleared and obviously takes him down as well. Takes down Sugar. Lars takes down Spen in the process, but Casey takes down another as he's going 2 for 2 here. We'll try and look for that third. If he can take down Lars with a nice little flank, it will keep him back. Knows that Lars is trapped there. And this is looking pretty bleak for Big, considering they've still got a 5-star deficit to catch up on, but that's not going to help with Casey making matters worse. 7-star deficit. Nadine's going to try and push in that right lane. Lars will do the same, but with a numbers disadvantage, it is just not going to happen. No deaths are going to be required. Just too little, too late. Not enough DPS. Casey just getting another one to add salt to the wound, and there we have it. Tribe tie things up in set number 1.
Great totem there, and I think it was Spen that threw the totem out there as well. Great work from him. Obviously, that ties them all up. But yeah, Big just got caught napping. They went looking for the aggression on the left-hand side. They got a little overconfident. And just on that right side, I think this is it here. Lars just gets caught out in a moment. This is where it all started off, and it was looking good for Big here. But as they went aggressive, it was simply Lars that got caught off guard as they tried to push up, and that was really the difference. And then from then it was kind of just a snowball effect effectively as Big were just chasing it, looking for the kills, going hunting for it. So really well played by Tribe, really well played. And as I said, you know,
later on, so it means that let's be honest, like on a map like that, when you're on the back foot and you've got to be the one to force out the final engagement, it's so difficult and so tough. It's been of damage here, making that final engagement count, and it's very cool. And that's why you see, and that's why you see quite an aggressive start sometimes from both these teams, because they don't want to be put in that situation. You could say that with most maps on Bounty, but on this one in particular, it can be a real nuisance here. As Spen and Sugar just trading out damage. Last two does get the initial kill here, with Spen still looking to go for that flank around that left lane, but could be a little bit cheeky here, pushing up, and does get a fair amount done onto Sugar before backing away, but still loving this aggressive approach from the entire squad of Tribe.
Considering Spen was basically singled out versus two of them, he gets a lot of damage. Five, it keeps on going Big's way. Tribe need to find themselves a big kill here.
And Nadine's the one with the blue star as well. And with the Piper, you know, 9 times out of 10, you will see him play from the back line and just supporting his teammates with the damage he can do with the range he has. So him having that blue star may seem pretty minor or really small, but when it comes to the what happens at the very end, it could make the massive difference here. Casey takes down Sugar. Nadine with a beautiful shot there onto KC. Great trade from him, up by 7 stars here, D-Man. 30 seconds left. Very excited to see how Tribe can maybe retaliate. But looking pretty bleak.
Oh, Nadine, I like it. Uses the super, covers them off and says, yep, come at us. You got an open run here. Sugar will go down, 16-9, but 18 seconds to go. Nadine will put paid to KC, and that will surely turn this set in their favor. It's down to Tribe. They're just going to rush it. They're just going to see if they can get anything crazy going off here. Spen's going for it in the bottom side. He's chasing after Lars. He gets Lars down, but Nadine instantly answers, gets Tom down. And that will finish Spen off. And Big will take the first set here on Bounty against Tribe Gaming. I mean, a lot of us, even you and I, as well as Ark, all had this one down as a Tribe victory, as well as the guys in chat that voted on Twitter earlier on. The community vote, but this was a great start for Big.
Certainly was indeed. Even like what Nadine did right at the very end, even though he pretty much secured that win, he, you know, most opponents will just make the assumption that deal with that brawlers where you can't just put anyone onto Max and just assume for the best. You know, it's not that type of brawler. Like I do feel like that Max has a huge skill ceiling alone, and it's just a matter of who can abuse it the most.
Well, that's it, right? So I mean, it's the same with. It's going to be a very interesting one for SK versus Clash later on, because obviously you go like, I can play Surge, and then Skyrix rocks up and you're like, I can't play Surge.
They can play pretty much anything like that, mate, can't they?
So I mean, we'll get to see it. I mean, I could say the same for Linane as well on Mortis and stuff like that. You know, when you see these top players absolutely delivering on some of these brawlers, you think I could go do that, and then you just can't do it the same. But you know, sometimes that's the way it is. But I'd be interested to see what they're going to come with, whether they're going to go with a thrower. Obviously, as we say, it is going into gem grab, so we'll see. Obviously, with the meta, it's still kind of up in the arms at the moment. I would say people are starting to settle down. We're starting to see sort of more and more the same sort of brawlers, and as expected. Okay, so we are going to see the Ems, we are going to see the Jean in there, and the Tara, and it's pretty much a mirror, other than the Amber, of course, for Tom there.
Certainly is indeed. Sugar already taken a huge chunk of damage, but that's not going to stop him from grabbing those 2 stars. So. Not too bad so far, with the shadows coming out as well. As Lars now pushing up on that right line ever so slightly. Someone to pull back as well. Nadine takes down KC, leaving just the last 2 members left standing. I was a few question marks here. They were standing still a little bit. I'm not really too sure what is going on, but maybe it's just me. I'm not really too sure here. But Lars does take down Casey. But do you feel like something's going on here, Demon? Yep, there is.
Well, yes, because Amber's banned. That's what's going on. As soon as I said it, I was like, I literally just went back and checked the bans myself. It's like a tribe having an actual brain fart today. Because this is Tom that's done it again. This is twice in a row that Tom has done this, 2 games running.
Do you know what it is? It's not really a brawler you expect to be banned. I kind of feel like that's why, even with the last set, maybe not as it's excusable. That's what I mean. It's not as excusable, but this time round, I can excuse it because it's the Amber. But with the Bell last time, yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. But I don't know if they have a coach or analyst or anything like that, but someone definitely does need to get their notepad out and remind them that certain brawlers can't be played, which does mean that Tribe will lose that one automatically and Big will get that first game in the second set. Deary me.
Drage, if you're about, I know you're only a young lad, you're going to have a better memory than some of these guys I feel. Getting comms, and I know you can't take part in the games, I'm aware of that, but you could possibly just refresh their mind on what the bans actually are when they're coming into this. Because yes, that is that's a big whoopsie. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just a default loss game for that one. Which, in fairness, they were already losing anyway until Tom realised it, and then you can see Thomas sort of stood there and he's like, "Guys."
I mean, when he pushed up on the right lane, he was just like, we've already done goofs. Like, this is it, really. We've already given the game away. Like, how much harder do you need to make it on yourselves here? Like, it is quite funny, don't get me wrong. And not gonna lie, they won't be laughing if I do lose to Big Oval, but this is probably the worst time for it. At least that way, beforehand, they were up 2-1 in the series against Noble Elite, but they're behind, and now a game behind now, which just makes matters worse. They could be giving Big a 2-0 series scoreline at this rate, but yeah, it's pretty jokes, though, not gonna lie.
No, exactly. I mean, let's face it, they're 3-3. You can't afford to give games away like this, especially with just a simple mistake like that. But obviously, they're going to switch away from the Amber now. So let's see if they do bring themselves an Ems and a Tara and a Jean and go with a simple mirror match. No, because the Bell's going to come out from Nadine. So that's going to be a switch around that they weren't expecting. But Tom's done the same. He comes with the Bell as well.
Yeah, Nadine with that Bell on the left side, just looking to see what he can do. But Casey's actually pushed all the way up unscathed, which is a little bit shocking to say the least. Lars gets taken down as well, and this is a dream start now for Tribe. And look how far they pushed up here, making sure they can make ends meet and just be able to abuse the fact that the lack of ammunition is not going to be working in Big's favour. Nadine's so weak as well. You can see there. Sugar also behind them, trying to support him as much as they can. Tribe already up to 6 gems so far.
Absolutely. Solid start from Tribe. Well, they need it around, but we have seen things flip-flop, and obviously it's going to be the big focus of whether Sugar can land that hook onto Spen. As I say that, Lars does get hooked in, but he did a good job at taking KC down at the same time. There's Sugar getting Tom down. And does he have his supercharge ready to go? Yes, it looks like he does. So looking to try and get that grab, but they've got to chase him down. They've got to find him. Lars is on the hunt, going around the side there. Lars tries to go for him. Nadine's going to focus on him. Gets one shot, can't land the second. There's the second shot coming in. And in the end, the magic hand comes out from Spen to say, no more shots from you, Sonny Jim.
Well, okay, Tribe, they're doing okay so far. They've kind of recovered from their little mistake, shall we say, little outburst there, but it's going to be fine. They have tied the set up 1-1 between both Pig and Tribe. I'm hoping, for the love of God, that Tribe do win this, because I'm going to feel so sorry for them if they lose this set just due to the fact that they selected a banned brawler. I don't think I've seen a banned brawler selected twice. I've seen it on numerous occasions once in the series, but not twice. Not twice.
Well, we had it yesterday as well, right? So, but twice from the same team in one day, 2 games running is a bit of a problem. Yeah, you can't afford to give games away like that, and especially when they're trailing, of course, after the first game. So Tribe, yeah, definitely got to get some work to do here, but that was a good turnaround, both answering with pretty much mirror matches. So we'll see whether they can continue that flow, because that was much better control, obviously coming out from Tribe there. And that may be, you know what, something stupid like that, maybe just enough to kick them in the arse and say, guys, bloody focus, shall we? Focus here, guys. This is a serious tournament for the next game.
Yeah, hopefully the good thing is they're not as unaware in-game as they are outside the game. So that's one thing we can take into account here. As, you know, spoke about before in that second game, Tribe, they were very aggressive, suffocating their opponent from the get-go after having that dream start. But it looks like Lars is going to maybe create a dream start here for the side of Big. Has already taken down one player as Tom and Spen just on that right-hand side, but Tom will get cleaned up. Spen still in the right lane as well, trying to survive for dear life on 119 HP. Casey does rejoin with Spen there on the left lane as well to support him just a tad. Lars has to pull all the way back. But again, good start for Big with that 3 gems to 2. But I thought there'd be a little bit more, you know, better objective efficiency here, considering the slaying power from what we've seen so far.
Absolutely. I like this little change from Sugar. Switching it out. The gene didn't work out for him, so keeping that pressure on. And you know what? If he can get close enough, he's going to be up to 7 gems. There it is. The second one just spawns as well at the same time. But now Nadine's getting picked off, so that's a problem. They're going to lose that mid control here. Unless Sugar can do what he can to keep Tom back. Does manage to land a couple. And this adjustment, I really like it at the moment. Now Spen's going to try and get some of those gems hoovered up, of course. We do have the patch now where they will spawn evenly. Casey's going to get picked off here. This is going to be Big's game. Nadine comes in. One more gem. That's going to spawn and land the side there. They're going to collect them. There's not a lot Tribe can do about this. 15 seconds of counter. They've got to go full aggressive. Tom's got no hit points. Spen's down on half hit points. It's down to Casey to try and go aggressive. Nadine focuses on Tom. Spen's in trouble. Casey goes down. It will be Big taking themselves a second set. A massive error from Tribe in the first game has cost them dearly, and now they find themselves in some serious trouble here. They need to reverse sweep this game.
And Tribe have the potential to do it, 100%. There's no reason why they can't, but still, though, that first game selecting the armor it could actually be curtains for them here just because of that one mistake, which is a little bit of a shame. But Tribe more than capable of being able to create this reverse sweep. They just got a little bit of a chat and discuss exactly what's going on, what's wrong. Maybe just not in-game to the headline and what they want to do here. It's a little bit, you know, again, not very, you know, characteristic of Tribe to lose by this much against Big. It's definitely something we can definitely discuss one day in the future. But so far, like you said, Tribe are down 2-0 in the series. Scoreline ruining our predictions once again. But I do feel like they do have a something up their sleeve they can definitely bring this back on, because like I said before, Tribe supposedly one of the top 4 teams who should be making it to the challenge finals, considering what they've done and what they've achieved, you know, over the last few months, and considering their recent form as well. But looking pretty bleak here. Big trying to ruin the pie.
Well, this is it, right? This is what it's all about. You know, at the moment we're talking about 4 teams going through. I think everyone can agree that SK and Clash are probably 2 of them that are kind of like a done deal. Outside of that, EXO free agents looking pretty good to be that 3rd shoe-in team. And then it's just open, right? You got Tribe, Reply Totem, Big, and Noble, all with sort of 2-3 wins apiece. So there are all these guys have a chance. At the moment, you know, I'm not going to write Na'Vi off. They've had a bad start, 0-6. They definitely need to try and turn things around themselves. But yeah, I mean, that 4th spot is wide open. And if Big pick up a win here, they're going to be tied at 3-3 along with Tribe Gaming. Obviously, you know, they've had some tough games as well themselves. And for me, this is definitely a massive slip up for Tribe.
Yeah, spot on as well. Apart from Na'Vi at the bottom of the table, yeah, I spoke about it as at the very last series at the end of the day yesterday. I did say that you've got like 3 or 4 teams pretty much similar in terms of win-loss. It's just all about the sets, and, you know, it could come down to that by the look of things from what we've seen so far, with Clash and SK excelling as the gatekeepers still with the top 2 spots almost guaranteed at this point, depending on the circumstances later on with the remaining 4 play days after this. But yeah, every win is going to count here, and try lose to Big, that's going to be a huge deficit for them, and they have to work even harder to try and break through to that top 4.
Absolutely. So we're moving on to Sneaky Fields next, isn't it, for Brawl Ball? So that's going to be an interesting one. Okay, obviously, if you think of what Tribe brought to the table in their first game. They had, I want to say B was in there, Ruffs was in there, and who was their third option? Who was their third choice in that first game? Damn, I should start writing these down. But then again, we go through so many games, I don't really get a chance to, don't really get speed to.
Don't blame you.
No, okay, so it's going to be Gene. So we're going to get Gene in there. Gene was not banned, actually, in that first game. But meanwhile, on the other side, a Colt for Sugar and an Ems for Lars. So relatively same deal. Obviously, Tom also with the Ems as well. So relatively same, just that Colt is somewhat surprising for me on a Brawl Ball.
Yeah, not something you see all the time, but maybe it's just this map in particular. We'll see. But Sugar's definitely getting a lot of value out of the Colt here, just dribbling all the way towards them, going to score all of them on the respawn. That was very clean cut here for Big. Not the start I expected, not the start I think anyone expected here. But you're right about the Colt, not something we always see. Definitely, well, worth its weight in gold at the moment. We'll see if that's going to continue on against KC. And he's got a pretty good shot on him here. Apart from those last couple of shots he just missed. Lars does take down Tom. Spen's actually taking a huge amount of damage as well. We'll get cleaned up, so this could be another goal here, depending on the circumstances. Casey just trying to stay alive as long as he can with that honey trap in play. And they won't be able to do anything as of yet, but at least if they don't get team wiped again, then they won't let in or concede another goal. But Nadine does take down Tom, and all of the members of Big have regrouped here, D-Man. It's going to be trouble.
Yeah, this is a big problem at the moment. Big are really putting the pressure on, and I feel that Sugar may just be sitting there waiting for them to peek out, waiting for that super to just absolutely obliterate somebody. But it is going to be Tribe finally getting back out of their goal line, sort of moving it to the halfway line point. But Nadine on this has been absolutely pinpoint. Landing the shots. KC, though, does finally get Sugar down. Okay, now they can get the side push. There we go. Tom comes in. This will be a goal. That's going to level things up one apiece. It was honestly looking pretty scary for Tribe for a moment there. It looked like Big May will just take it a quick 2-0 and on to the match point. But Tribe finally do manage to pull themselves back together.
Casey's been doing a great job just ducking and weaving and strafing, just dodging all of Sugar's shots here. He took some here and there, but he piled on so much pressure. Casey's just keeping a very close eye on the angle Sugar's holding, and if he can not take too much damage before making that initial engagement. You can see he's doing it now, but the only difference is Nadine is helping him just a tad, and Sugar's, having a lot of issues dealing with Casey's pressure. We've seen it time and time again in that individual duel in the left lane. But that's going to be two of the players down. Nadine's going to be the last one left standing. Does catch it, but will Sugar be able to stop it? Does he have enough DPS? He does. Will he kick it away then? That's the problem. No, he will not. And Lars can just push up with this now. The only problem is Tom is still there in the centre half. Nadine is going to be rejoining him. I don't know how that wasn't a goal here, D-Man. My word.
And you know what? I think Sugar on Colt here, this could be beneficial now with obviously all the cover removed here. He could absolutely rail someone down just like that onto Tom there. And how on earth did they manage to keep this out of the goal? I don't know. Because now Lars is looking to set it up. Nadine doesn't want to step forward on that one because he's very low. Will get focused down in the end there. Sugar, has he got his super ready and waiting to go? He's going to try and line it up there. Misses majority of it onto Tom though, and now he's in trouble. It looks like Big and Maywell just missed their major opportunity to take this one when they got that kill onto Tom. Shot comes through, Nadine defends, Lars gets spent down. They don't really have time to move it up the field. This is going to be a tie game.
That was so close, but we need to talk again about that left lane. It was very back and forth between KC and Sugar. Sugar got the better end of the stick to begin with, which led to that goal at the start, but KC was doing a really great job just being able to adapt to what Sugar was doing, and that's the problem you see. There is weaknesses of Colt where if you miss a couple of those projectiles, then that would give you your initial push to be able to, force out that mistake to occur and then be able to clean them up nicely. But as long as Sugar doesn't have any support from Nadine, then Casey should be okay to then push on up. He will have to take a little bit of damage. It's not going to be absolutely perfect, but as long as he only takes about a third or half of his HP, he should be able to at least defeat Sugar in that left lane every single time. But Sugar's realised that Casey's adapting that left lane. So will he switch from that Colt to something else, though? That's the question.
He may well do. I think I almost suspect that's probably where the change will be. Although, ironically, obviously, if it wasn't for Colt, he wouldn't have been able to save the game and it wouldn't have been tied at 1-1. So Solid stuff from him. Now, okay, what can you adjust in this one? I mean, with Primo banned, don't forget as well. So no Primos available out there. Obviously looking at a great wall breaker that he is. And I'm going to remind you of brands because, you know, people have been picking banned brawlers these days. Stu, Primo, and Amber were banned out for this one. So there are a lot of options available for them. We'll see whether it's going to get working for them. But, that was close. That was close. That was looking good for... I feel that Tribe maybe have the better of them in Brawl Ball here. The question is, well, can they adjust it? Obviously, they went 1-0 down to start with as well. I'm trying to think what they could bring to the table. What they're going to go out there. There's a lot of cover, so maybe a thrower, maybe pull a Sprout out. Sprout could definitely work. Obviously, defensive sort of style as well. Put the pressure on. We've seen it working very well. I think actually on this Brawl Ball pitch specifically as well. But it's not going to be the case. It's going to be pretty much stick with tried and tested. They just had a draw, so they feel they can do it better again.
Yeah, let's see if any changes are going to occur in terms of their strategies pushing on up, as Sugar is now still trying to deal with Casey on that left side, but Nadina trying to stay alive in the centre before Casey tries to push up onto him. But Spenno looking very, very solid, looking very good as well. Lars can't really get the better of Tom as of yet, but look at this. So Casey pushed all the way up towards that left side and taking a little bit of damage here, so does need to back away for the time being. But Tom does take down Nadine, and Tom's pushed all the way up here before Lars has managed to rejoin with Sugar, and Nadine's also rejoined the pack as well.
Now they're just going to chuck that ball in the corner, and that's going to put pressure onto Tribe. Obviously, they were in a great position of being able to just get a direct shot through. 1 kill. There's the magic hand one coming out from Spenno. That's what's been unlocking everything. Sugar just quickly punts the ball away, tries to get the damage down onto KC. Nadine will spawn, but what can he do from here? Nothing, because Tom will just put it through the goal. And that was all about the magic hand there coming out from Spen.
Yeah, great stuff from Tribe. Not a team to normally hesitates in the slightest. As soon as they smell an advantage, they will absolutely take it by any means necessary. Tom Spen on that right lane now, just trying to switch up the position. So already a fantastic start, with Sugar still trying to keep Casey back. So we could actually take him here, which he does. So Tom already with the first initial frag will take down Nadine as well, and then Spen will be the one to score there. Tom did such great work there, getting that first initial kill every single time round.
So, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're seeing Tribe start to step into their elements, but they've still got a lot of work to do here. 2 sets down, of course, looking to try and close out this first set here on Brawl Ball. Looking very good for them to start with, though.
So certainly have done indeed, just travelling into that left corner every single time, but just need to deal with Tom's pressure in that right lane. Before, don't get me wrong, Lars was doing a great job keeping him at bay, but had a little bit more of a struggle this time round. Didn't have as much support as he would like, and Tom was just noticing those weaknesses every single time round without fail. So very different from what we saw compared to that first matchup.
Yeah, definitely. It worked out well. And I think that, like I say, the biggest part of it was obviously Spen getting those magic hands, obviously wall breaking on his way through it as well, because obviously when you pull them through, it does break the terrain that it
tabs on exactly where they are in terms of information. Sugar, so weak. Managed to survive that last bout, but going to be okay. But that's not going to stop the pressure from Tribe. I love the synchronization there from all three players.
I love the spike change for Tom. I like this. He's caught in those spikes, and there's nothing you can do about that.
No, absolutely not. The best he could do out of that situation was to get that trade. He did get the trade in the end, but at what cost though? Lost a little bit of match control. Spen gets taken down by Nadine. Fantastic stuff from him. Tom, though, still in that left lane. Needs to back away. Can't really have any kind of effect. So it won't get much value from what we've seen, considering you've got Nadine and Sugar in that left lane. But Sugar's now gone to support Lars in some way, but you saw the pull going in from Spen to clean up Lars. So do have that numbers advantage, but neither team wants to try and make this initial push. So a lot of element of caution here from both teams.
Yeah, it's been the magic hand that's been working and really turning things around for both teams at the moment. Enough to basically stop them. Lars goes in with the M's now, hits that super and tries to push him in there. Spen takes a good bit of damage, but I don't think there's enough space to try and get this shot in. Lars wants to collect the ball, but he's too late. Casey's going to get the respawn back in there. You can't just run straight through! How did he get the shot past KC?
Oh, that was just ridiculous. I'm going to talk about it in a little second, but 10 seconds left now. Lars looking to see if he can push back, but Casey's just doing so much damage onto him. They're literally just going to play on the defense there. Sugar being a real nuisance against Tom. And that first kill was going to make the difference here. And we have to talk about the great plays there from Lars in that right lane. He was waiting for Tom just to make one little error, just one little push for him to be able to make the massive difference. I mean, he managed to get up on the forwards, managed to get on the offensive, managed to take down 2 of the players, and obviously was able to score past, I can't remember who he actually scored past. I don't know if it was Casey or someone else, but those first initial kills he was waiting for in that right lane was just absolutely vital. And you know, fair enough to Lars. He had a lot of patience and discipline there in that right lane for waiting for that instance to occur.
I like the change for Tom to go onto Spike there, but it did feel like they'd lost a lot of the pressure now that they'd gone to the Spike. Whereas if you think of the first game, they were basically the ones pushing, keeping Big in defense, and this time it did seem that, obviously, I mean, let's not take anything away from this. It was all about the magic hands. The whole game was about that. Simply a case of who's going to grab first. Is it going to be Sugar or Spen? And once obviously that worked out in their favour, but then of course we saw the big push working out on the right hand side with the M's, and the M's managed to get the kills. I don't actually know how he got past KC there. And I think KC's probably thinking the same as well, because like KC hit his super. He's like, I'm just throwing everything out there. It's like, what? How did that get past me? I don't know. I think obviously, you know, it's the classic case of you simply walk past the brawler and get the shot away. I didn't think he was going to be able to do that. He did it just before he died.
Yeah, I think it's very well timed there from him. But great stuff. And you talk about the Spike as well. The problem with the Spike, you know, in terms of range damage, it's great, don't get me wrong. But the only problem is, in terms of the team as a whole, it makes you a little bit more passive, you know, because close range, Spike isn't really, you know, that useful. And that's why you don't see as much aggression when you see like a Spike or one of the other throwers come into play here. But Nadine, for dear life, manages to survive that last engagement. Sugar comes in and gives him a nice little hand there. But Casey is actually looking to be on the offense as well. Even though it gets cleaned up here, this is an opportunity early days here for Big.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, well played to Tribe. I think it was KC that realised the situation, realised the danger, picked the ball up and just ran it downfield, knowing he was going to die. But obviously that mitigates the chance of any goal coming from Big this time around. So really good work from him now. But a real problem here, because if Sugar can land one of those magic hands and remove a big chunk of that cover, it will turn this game very much into Big's favour for even just the first goal. So let's see whether Sugar can do just that, or whether Spen wants to go for it. There is the magic hand. That's Spen being taken away, and now they're going to pressure. Now they're going to push. In comes Lars. They all hit the supers, but it's going to be Tribe that are falling down to this one. But Tom does a great job at holding them at bay. And a big thumbs down comes out from Sugar. He knows they missed the chance.
Oh, Tom was so weak. That was such a shame. A tad bit unlucky. Nadine, though, goes straight in, takes down KC. But Tom does take down Lars. So it's going to be 2v2 as the push comes in. But the goal is going to be on the side of Big. Nadine does get the first one on the board. Remember, guys, this is match point for Big. So if they keep this lead for the next 50 seconds, they're going to be able to take down Tribe 3-0.
Massive pressure situation for Tribe now. They've got to get the full reverse sweep from the match point. Nadine goes down. Tom goes aggressive. Now Spen goes pushing in there. Sugar plays the ball into the corner, but you know what? They will be doing Tribe some favours right now. They get the magic hand pull on Sugar. They pull him in. Casey knows exactly where it is. He's going to go looking for it. Gets the quick pass in, and it should be the goal from Spen. He can't run it over the line. Oh, the respawn's coming, but he just gets it in time. Oh, that was close.
Oh, the lack of ammunition definitely did wonders for him. It was a little bit close, don't get me wrong. And now it's all tied up here. Remember, it is still match point for Big. KC takes down Lars. Sugar takes down KC. So good trade from both teams. As Nadine now just trying to stay alive. Sugar is behind them directly, so to play that support. Lars is going to be jumping back in as well, but waiting for his ammunition to recover, keeping KC back just a tad in that right lane. Tom has already taken a fair amount of damage, but you can see it's been very equal in terms of damage intake here. So neither team really having that kind of advantage or positional advantage here to push on up with that ball. So we're going to see a lot of stalemate situation in the next 10 or 20 seconds. But just looking at it so far, Spen still looking to push on that towards the middle. Tom obviously getting a little bit overzealous here, was looking to try and overextend. He's already taken a fair amount. This could be the initial engagement they needed, and Nadine has taken down one. They're going to be pushing all the way up. Will Lars be able to shoot it? No, he does not. He just misses on that right post. And now they're going to have to back away. Nadine realises, but a massive disadvantage. How is Sugar going to deal with this? He's going to lose it, and there's only 12 seconds left here, D-Man.
For the game, and he misses the shot. Talk about an England player. I don't know what's going on there, but Nadine has managed to get hold of it. They're trying to take them down. Super just about keeps them away, and it ties out. Look at the ball. Look at the ball. Oh my God, we've got to look and replay on that. That ball was on the line. Goal line technology. Oh, and it's a tight game.
As if that would have 100% scored, and that is ridiculous to say, but it's literally 0.2, 0.3 seconds required, and they would have definitely have had that. I think they were kind of questioning, they were thinking, well, we haven't got the numbers, we're pretty much stuffed at this point. They were just trying to kick it into the corner to waste as much time as possible, which is perfectly understandable. Let's have a look at this.
Here we go, super slow-mo. I love it. Thank you very much, production. Oh, look at it. Oh, they got absolutely done. But, okay, it's a tight game. You know, they just go again. Sure, why not? Because that was close. If in fairness, I didn't catch who took the shot for Big, actually. I think it might have been Lars that missed the shot. It actually came back.
Certainly will do indeed. Things become a little bit more of a stalemate situation once again, as Lars going towards that left lane to see if he can pile on any pressure. But you can see they're not really too much with the ball as Casey takes down Lars. And now Nadine and Sugar have to try and get back if they can. Nadine will pull back, won't get scarred too much here. But saying that, though, he's actually only got a third HP left in the tank. So needs to try and recuperate if he can, with Sugar and Lars just looking to see if they can keep him at bay whilst Nadine tries to recover, but not really giving himself much of a chance here, which is a little bit of a shame there. But still plenty of time left on the clock. Still got 40 seconds left for Big to work with here. Now Tom will get traded out for Nadine here, and Lars gets another one as well. So it's going to be a two-man advantage pushing on up. If they take down Spen, that will be absolutely huge. And now we're going to be trying on pushing on up, but realise this could be a little bit too late here. One more team wipe required.
Yeah, there was too much of the field to cover there. They can't get up there quick enough. There's the magic hand on Spen. That's going to take Spen down as quick as you like now.
With 8 seconds left remaining, Sugar's already taken a huge amount of damage on the get-go. Lars continuing to pile on the pressure on that right-hand side, but Tom needs to back away just a tad here between their engagement against Lars. But you can see already Casey's taken down Nadine, and it's going to be a lot of trouble here trying to keep that ball back, but Lars has taken a huge amount. This could be it if Sugar is taken down as well. And Spen will keep alive in this series and will bag that first set. What a game, what a matchup.
Well, the Tribe hang on, and
a matchup like that. The fact that the last 15 seconds it required hitting the right side of the post from Lars, and then the fact that it was on the exact goal line, it was just keeping in and being able to stay in the series, but to win that last set overall, because we did feel a little bit sorry for them, and the fact that that ball was on the goal line in that last game, which is probably thinking, they released, and of course the set earlier on with that banned brawler. But Tribe, though, they are still in it. We did say if there's any team who could definitely keep themselves in it for a reverse sweep, it is definitely Tribe. And Big definitely can be a bit shook up after that last set. It was very tiring, to say the least.
Yeah, they tend to do pretty well on Brawl Ball, Tribe do. But now we're going to move on to Parallel Plays, the Hot Zone map. Yesterday we saw that he's looking to try and get aggressive, but it does look like they're both going to lock him down. Nadine does get a toe now onto there. That's exactly what he was looking for. He's just got to try and avoid and mitigate the damage. Gets the turret down. Nadine holds on. Oh, just slightly misses the shot.
Chat and just...
Брат, простите, ради бога,
Whether they're going to
тупит все. Потому что я стримлю сейчас в данный момент.
Change anything out. I don't think there'll probably be any changes. I think we're going to go back in with the same brawlers here. Let's play it better, shall we, boys? The only thing I could think of was maybe the Gene, but the Gene's generally been pretty strong, and yet
on the back line, just trying to... teams. It's just they have these on and off days. They're not really consistent like some of the other top teams, but that is just a pure example of what they can actually do here.
Yeah, absolute solid performance overall. I mean, it was a slow one. It was a drawn out. All sets went the distance, even an extra distance, because we had a couple of ties in there as well. It definitely ran the schedule a little late, but that's it. Big will take down Tribe. That takes them down to 3-3, and Tribe will go to 3-4 now. So Big are actually moving up. I believe they're in 4th place now. So that 4th place spot, obviously, of course, what they need to get for the finals. Great performance from Big. Now, we're going to move on. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, it's going to be Na'Vi up against Reply Totem.
ESL Mobile Challenge is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
And that's a real difficult team to beat, you know, like one that even the likes of Clash have about to do as well. So, I don't know. I think for me is that Na'Vi have really got to up themselves today.
Now, before we do discuss and go into that matchup, blah, 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 we do have an interview with Nadine from Big to see on just a tad. We've already had 2 matches, still got 5 left to go, and it's going to be Navi versus Totem. I've cast this match.
But yeah, it will be Ice Force as well, by the way. The Gemfall's not actually a map. It's a little twig on the overlay. Yeah, so Gem go first. I think it's a decent game to get started. Some long range brawlers going on there. I think you got to bring in Atara to this kind of environment, really. She's in that's such a great place. And also, you know, Black Hole, Star Power, I think is pretty much the way to go, because ultimately, if you bring in like an Ems, those spirits can really give you a tough time to deal with on the defense. But, you know, Navi, you've got to come out with something aggressive, I feel. They've got to make a statement early on and get inside the minds of Reply Totem. If they leave them to linger too much and get too much in control, then it could definitely go against them here.
Yeah, this needs to happen now. If I don't get a W as well, and the full order to say the least, and that's probably just an understatement overall. So even getting this first win to give them a little bit of, well, it's not really much of a morale boost or momentum swing, because they're still 1-6, but at least it'll give them a little bit of leadway, you know, a step in the right direction, you could say, overall.
Yeah, they needed a lift. Navi are a really, really aggressive team. We saw them at the beginning of this competition just thriving in the environment, and I was expecting to see more than I've seen so far.
Continue to stop Mario from piling on so much pressure. He's actually known for doing this on this map. He does it every single time, so he just gets away with murder. Mario does take down BBGs in that process. 11 gems to their name, and Navi have to wait for BBGs to regroup, but there's not going to be enough time. 7 seconds left, and Maru and Braze are just trying to throw bodies at them at this point, because it doesn't really matter. As long as they delay the push, it will be perfectly fine, and Totem will get the first game of the first set in the bag.
This is not the start that Navi need. They need to start to rekindle themselves very quickly. They'd like to get the first set here and able to then use that as fuel for the fire, but at the moment, you know, Totem more often than not was like controlling the middle area of this map so well. You see that double pull there from Maru, and again, Mari is connecting with his magic hands more often than not. Navi needs to think through now what they've seen so far from Totem in terms of their comp. I mean, Tar can struggle on that left-hand side lane with some more like longer range brawlers, and you know, I mean, I used to go with Rico here. It's never really kind of used that much, but that could be an idea to consider a little bit as a way to kind of really push back on those side lanes, or just something really tanky. You know, Rose could fare relatively well for them. Either way you look at it, they've got to start either communicating. We were mentioning this yesterday, right? You know, what is it in the background that's maybe happening with Navi at the moment? Is it just kind of like the way the patterns have been recurring and it's kind of playing on the mind, or is it something in terms of communication, or something which is lacking within the team in terms of their mechanics?
Of caution on that side. Maybe if he even switches lanes, which he has done on that right lane already, just being so aggro back and forth and just not really given. But again, it's just great flanks, good position, good game sense as well, as BBGs finally takes down Maru. Mori takes down BBGs and gets a good trade. Mori does get cleaned up by MMA. So this is a much better start from Navi, as they do have those 6 gems, but still need to try and hang on.
Okay, well, exactly that. The thing now is Maru's coming in with super, and BBG just needs to shut it down quick and go for it and get the takedown. So fair play to him. I was expecting to see a Tara Black Hole there, to be honest, coming out as a more of a defensive measure, but this is much better from Navi, bringing out the Shadows from Beyond as well, taking care swiftly of. Let's see what happens here as Murray has got the... Oh, but Murray getting pulled in. This is going to make a big difference to how Reply Totem are going to be able to hold this down. Murray can do a little bit here on Jason. Didn't go for it. Very passive plays this time around from Reply Totem.
Yeah, Mario, I think he felt like Jason was just going to push on up to the north side. If he did make that push, he decided to stand his ground, which is, you know, a tad understandable. I can see where you're coming from. BBG's now very weak and has 4 of those gems, so he can't afford to lose him here if either player gets cleaned up. But Brazier just waiting to push that left lane. Does have the numbers advantage here. This is going to be important. Brazier may have to go in early just to do that excess damage. But will they even have time here? The push does come in. Will we have to clean any of them up? No, they don't. And Na'Vi responds brilliantly there. And they will be able to tie this set up. And it was a very key moment as well. Brazier was doing the right thing, don't get me wrong, just waiting to regroup with the rest of the pack. But when he realised how far behind everyone else was, he needed to push in from that left lane to do the excess damage. But by then, they already pushed to the right side. So it was just too little too late.
Yeah, and that time around, for me, Navi were just utilising the mid-control way, way better. And Totem just felt like they were just being a little bit sluggish to some of the really key qualities to their arsenal. They had a lot of time in the supers. They weren't really kind of using... very much cycle those effectively as well. BG just was hitting a lot of those pulls. I think that's the thing that they were connecting much better with their options, and just they seem to be looking a lot better that time around. It's got to be said.
Yeah, I feel like they were controlling the tempo of the matchup compared to that first game. The first game was just all over the place. It was like Totem had angles they should not have even been able to gain, let alone purposely putting themselves in that position. It was a little bit awkward at times, but Na'Vi, that was a night and day difference. It was absolutely huge, some of the things they were doing, still being able to hold it into the centre, even at a disadvantageous position, and still able to come out on top. So let's see if they will continue to be able to make their mark here in this set. So good retaliation earlier, but let's see if Na'Vi can push this through already with an early gem advantage.
Okay, well, I like the breaking of the side lane from MMA. That's actually a really good spot as well. If he can hold down the left-hand side there, Soy DeBreza needs to go and do the same really ideally so that he can know where MMA is going to be. But MMA wants the mid, and that's where you've got to be honest. Now he thrived in the last game, so if they do that... Oh, but Soy's going to break that now, which is going to be interesting because that left-hand side is so fully exposed. Less options then for Navi to consider. People just going to go in aggressive to pick up these bolts. And yes, Soy DeBreza goes back and lets him have it. Mario's got to pull, but the question is now will he be sneaky enough to make it happen on the right-hand side?
Yeah, it's been pretty even. It's just the map controls has gone in favour of Na'Vi, just standing their ground and just getting the cost-effective kills, you could say. The ones that matter most is Mario does try and pull back, can't. Jason's already on that right side waiting for him to push on up. Only need 2 more gems then to start that countdown, which they have done. And let's see how Na'Vi is going to hold this setup, as Jason's still waiting for Mori. If he cleans him up, that would be absolutely huge. He's already done a fair amount of damage here. They have the numbers, but they can get cleaned up quite quickly. 5 seconds left. Will they be able to survive? He can still do his absolute best. He does get taken down. And the countdown will start again, collecting MMA's gems. But another pull comes in. Jason takes down Brazier. And obviously the trade comes in with Jason as well. So they're trying to back all the way up here. Do have those 7 gems. And very hard to predict from what we've seen. As now Totem is going to start the countdown. Is going to keep Jason at bay in that mid lane, but that's literally going to be it, Ark, I think, with a massive disadvantage. Nothing they can do, as Totem will probably take this last game and the set.
A really, really good response. Some great recoveries as well. And I think for me, Totem just were more supportive of one another. Possibly some better communication going on there as well. And just better awareness all around for me, really. That's the thing. That Navi they're making some good choices, as we saw in that previous game. But in this one, they just didn't seem to be working as harmoniously well together. Good start, but it just dwindled towards the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it's just off and on. It's a little bit peculiar. It's not something we see.
Yeah.
I've seen Na'Vi at their highest peak, at their absolute peak and their highest element. And it seems weird that it's just completely random. That's why I always said before, they benefit more from open brackets than they do in league format. It's very, very tough. And we do see them do a lot better, like especially in a league format where if it's the second match for them or back-to-back, etc., when we see a double dosage of Na'Vi, we see them play better in that second match, even if it is a series loss. So it kind of makes sense as to what I'm trying to mention about the whole open bracket thing. But still got plenty more chances for Na'Vi. Still only the first set. Totem did look again able to exploit a lot of the weaknesses we saw from Totem, but Totem held their own really, really well just towards right at the very MMA was taken down. He only had a couple of those gems, but either one of them being finished. Seems like they were on the same page. Luckily, as MMA also takes down Mori. Still no damage done to the safe as of yet, but with that blockade as well, not going to be able to do much. MMA just trying to do a sprinkle if he can, or just a tickle onto the safe, just to add a tiny bit of pressure on the Totem. Doesn't get it done, but will pull back and rejoin for the rest of the pack.
Really nice work there from BBGs. The shutdown on the left-hand side lane. The swap over there from Maru to go to the right-hand side paid off really nicely. MMA went down there, and that's going to give a little bit of a other things. There's another takedown, 2 versus 2 now. MMA coming in back now. Maru weakened will go down as well. Very back and forth, but still no percentage damage on either side of the safe. So that's the thing now. If MMA goes forwards here, yep, he's doing the right thing there to get that damage in early on. You never really know in Hot Zone when that little bit of early percentage can come back around here, but Soy DeBreza looking to try to get Jason, goes in with the super. Some good back and forth for both sides for me so far.
Yeah, Brazer just doing absolute magic there. Of course, with the collect, it's going to do wonders, especially on a map like this, considering how far away the safe is apart from each other. So they're going to try and take advantage of that if he can. But Mori now with the Barley just in that left lane, just trying to keep MMA back if he can. Brazer is just pushing for the safe again. And do you know what? Why not? You might as well, considering the position you're in. If you're going to get away with it, then you might as well take advantage of it. As Jason's obviously realised that now and got to have an extra element of caution. Brazer's going to try and go for it again. Will he be able to? No, he will not. He was trying to get a few pop shots so he could regain that super once again and go towards that safe, even though it will be meaning death, but at least 12 or 13% onto the safe will do him wonders. Brazer just trying to stay alive. They realise there is 20 seconds left to go, but Mario's already taken a fair amount of damage, and this is an opening for Na'Vi. Huge opening.
Yeah, MMA did really nicely on the left-hand side with the super there, and getting that supply drop buff to be really in his pocket. Let's see what they can do here. It's closing the gap here. BBG's goes in. That's the 45% needed. Now there's not enough time. I don't think Soy DeBreza has no super. Maori's the last remaining chance. Not gonna happen. Na'Vi will take it.
MMA just taking it on the chin right at the very end, body blocking, sorry, just making sure that that save doesn't go any further down from 52% down to the 45 of Totem. So great stuff there, good ending. I do sometimes feel like they could push a little bit quicker and like on the mark. Like you see there, they got 2 of the players down for Totem and they still just don't push up quick enough. It's like they're hesitating for some weird reason. I don't know if it's because they're not on the same page or something like that. It's just not very characteristic of them there. Like, when you saw those 2 down, they should be pushing as they're taking down the second player, just making sure they get a little bit more objective efficiency going forward. So not something we normally see. So we still see a fair amount of hesitation from Na'Vi, even though Na'Vi actually still won that. But they could have had a better lead, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think some early aggression would go a long way here. I think I was interested to see the Sprout. I wasn't kind of like I haven't stayed for such a long time on Hot Potato, to be completely honest, and it kind of serve a purpose. I can see the idea being to slow down the collect, kind of from being able to consistently back and forth on
game. But I do feel like they could have had a lot more percentage taken off of that safe.
They seem a little bit unsure of themselves, but I'm sure that if they can just start to gain a bit of momentum here, then that will start to come flooding back. Some ideas that they're experiencing with, I wonder whether they'll continue to keep doing so. I think they might have dropped the Sprout, and that's a good start. Yeah, so a different idea here from now. We're going to break open the entire of the map, and look at Soy DeBreza now going with the Sprout. That's a really bad time for that particular Brawl. The Edgar there from Maru is a great counter to Ariko and other squidgier brawlers like Colt. So I think it's going to be a bit of a saving grace for Totem, but Soy is definitely going to struggle once this map gets broken open.
Maru just been a bit of a distraction there. Didn't manage to waste enough time as he would like, but it's already done the damage and did a fair amount of distracting anyway, nonetheless. So Na'Vi with 4% deficit. I'm sure that they're not going to cry about it too much, but they will be crying about it in a sec, because already look at the push coming in from Totem as Mori and Jason trade each other out. Still did a fair amount to the safe here. BBGs and MMA just trying to deal with him, and Maru finally managed to get cleaned up, and Maru's just done so much work. The aggression has just been unreal.
Now the range of Jason can really start to take its players. Again, Maru here and Soy going to absolutely struggle with the entire map open now. Good awareness from BBGs, tries for a little pucker shot onto Maru, but doesn't connect regardless. MMA is on his own here. That could be just costly. Yeah, Maru's just absolutely making a bit of a tear, and Jason's keeping his distance wisely, so I feel. Good chance then for Mari over the top of a couple of bottles, and Soy DeBreza as well, thinking the same. And they get the takedown on MMA. That's going to apply even more pressure to the Na'Vi safe. BBG's trying to go off to the forwards to push it back. I don't know whether it's going to be enough, as Soy is still alive here on this right-hand side.
Mori was definitely, it wasn't the fact that he overstayed his welcome. He pulled back. He was on 17 HP. He should not be alive. That is going to see how things occur. now as Totem do time things up.
Kind of gel to me. I don't within themselves to then go the whole way, and sometimes that's not the best approach, especially if you're slightly behind, and you got to go with surely when you're behind at this level, like you got to go with what you know, and not really necessarily with what you hope is going to work out, or kind of play that mind game idea. You got to get back to your roots, and that's something that we've kind of yet to see from Navi today so far.
Yeah, we'll be playing on dueling beetles, or we'll be hot zone, and what you said is right. Sometimes it's just back to basics, something very simple, just to go back on there. A lot of top teams do it, so it's never a bad thing really, because you've got to rectify some of those little mistakes here and there, which makes a big detriment to your gameplay. Razor taking a huge amount of damage. I was going to say, I'll be surprised if he gets away with that, but we'll get the trade on MMA. Mario's taking a huge amount there. And you can see, still manages to stay alive, not much longer though, especially with that Amber burn. And now Brazier again continuing to pile on the pressure into that zone.
Yeah, I mean, this is the funny thing, because, we've seen Navi love to play Colt and always range.
They're going to be starting to play passive, not going to find any openings. They're going to get taken out one by one. About as well, and I'm sure you saw it as clear this day as I did, but Na'Vi was a lot better than we predicted, and hopefully if they get this first set, they can make a little bit of a change here.
Exactly that. They've got to get through this set. I mean, the thing for me that I noticed the most was that they were not going down, they were staying very much on their feet with those damage supply drop buffs, and
Not yet anyway. There could be delaying.
Yeah, no.
We'll definitely see. So not just yet. Give us a bit of time, like. Jesus, but yeah, we'll see though, because this map, it can really go either way. I see it as a bit of a coin flip as well as some of the bounty maps here, bro. But it's the coordination which is so vital, especially if you're playing.
But look at that. Yeah, it's shut down so quick. Totem are really savvy to it. And despite the amount of heals as well there in the background, the pressure that they're able to apply, and they're just kind of playing it kind of pretty old school. Getting just like the healing puffs from the Gene is kind of all they need to really make this kind of work right now. Jason with a nice counter. Oh, that's a good counter though. And this is now control in the hands of No. Now, how will they utilize it?
I'm so glad Jake. All-time lucky, shall we say, as Mori takes down MMA. Jason just trying to stay alive. Mori takes down another one. That's going to be a team wipe for Totem. And now Na'Vi looking, we could say things are looking very bleak here with that disadvantage. But don't forget though, they do have that percentile advantage in terms of the objectives. Still got a little bit of time to try and work with.
Came back and they have
SK or Clash. They're going to be all over you after mistakes like that in.
Been able to recollect themselves. Mario's going to go down as well. That's a great moment for Jason just to dash through and get that Gasser heal as well from the star power. Get full health by the time that he's at the front of that goal line. He's just looking to hunger down. Has got the amplified shot there and just narrowly missed from Maori. He's looking to get this pull off and he's going to have to do it to relieve some of this pressure. Be a good time to push and close the gap in here really, and just target MMA and just deplete the push a little bit more. But he might not be the best person to pull here, so that was good that he didn't go for that now. And this would be a great time to now, having pushed up the map as successfully as they've done. This is a great great work from Reply Totem. Get the ball through this mid here, and then open up the goal line to score this first goal. There it is.
Oh, the peeking and the cover from Maru on that right lane you saw there, just fantastic stuff. Mori wasn't able to do a huge amount of damage. Ferrari peeking back and forth behind those boxes in that right lane, just doing a little bit of damage here and there, and just, you know, tickling him a little bit, just keeping him distracted from his other teammates. Was just, will he be able to put it? No, he does not. Still no 5 seconds left. It's not going to happen as they do take the remaining members of Na'Vi down. I think it was Jason was the last one to get cleaned up. 1-0 in that game, and now it's going to be match point for Totem.
I mean, you know, Bees are open.
Do you reckon this?
And Totem did not hesitate to make the most of the opportunity.
Well, there we go. Totem win the series, just like that. It's not really the most climatic thing we've seen so far, but that first goal was just ridiculous. And yeah, they just didn't mess around in the slice, did they? They saw the opportunity and they just took it, you know, ball by the horns there. And Na'Vi, a few, you know, a lot of weaknesses here and there, which they left behind, and Totem took advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Totem have got Clash to come, so they need to make sure that they made this easier said than done, but they've got to make it happen, and they did that today because they've got a bigger matchup coming now. This will put them in a good mindset going forwards into it. So, but, you know, Navi, it's a shame to see because, like, honestly, they were so explosive at the start of this competition, loved a lot of their long-range comps, and just been trailing off a little bit throughout the competition.
Yeah, certainly is indeed. But D-Man's going to be back in the hot seat momentarily for our next match with Na'Vi versus Clash. And also we've got SK versus Clash straight afterwards. So tell your family, tell your friends, tell your goldfish, tell anyone you know. But that matchup will be coming up straight after this one. So don't go anywhere as we'll be back in just a few moments.
Hello and welcome to the ESL Mobile Open. Can you please introduce yourself and your team? Hello and welcome to the ESL Mobile Open. Can you please introduce yourself and your team?
Yeah, hello. I am Brawl. I am the coach of AC Milan class. Well, my teams are Trevor, Chaos, Lenine, and Guille. And this time we want to win the ESL Mobile.
So we've already spoken about the fact that you're a coach as well, but I mean, you must have been playing this game since it first came out. Like, were you playing, you know, every day? Were you playing multiple hours?
Yeah, I started in the beta. I started in the beta, but I left the game like 1 month later. And then when it got global, I come back to the game and I start looking competitive, playing all the days. And this is how, since that, I have been playing like all days. And now this is what I do. All the days I enter, I do some games, and I finish.
So when you did
like little teams, and now I am here in AC Milan.
I mean, what an amazing jump, right? So
yeah.
What do you consider to be your team's biggest advantage against your opponents?
Well, I think I don't know, perhaps we have a good analyst and a good staff to prepare all the matches. And there are teams that they only have players and no staff, and I think that our staff is so good. So I think with that and the players that they are one of the best players in Europe, I think we can do a good work.
unstoppable. Reply Totem, though, coming off the back of that successful win against Na'Vi, I think, it's going to lift their spirits a bit.
Absolutely the best way to start the day for them, no doubt about it. Clash, I've got to say, if it's Reply Totem that can break this winning streak, then all the more power to them. That's what I say. Sorry to Breza Mari and Maru. Played fantastically well today, and, it definitely would have been a very different feeling coming to this matchup if they lost that last game to Navi, but they're on at the moment. Let's think to see what happens next. But Clash are going to be the Titans to take down.
Well, they're ruining all my my predictions. I had the Reply Totem losing in that last game to Na'Vi, but Na'Vi just didn't show up, it seems. Clash, though, absolutely will show up. Lenane, iChaos, and Guille, 3 magnificent players, and Clash have dropped 1 set in total across 5 best-of-5s. So they're definitely the team that is hot right now, but this is a warm-up game for them. One that they can't take their eye off, but you bet your boots they're definitely focused on that next matchup. And I just wonder what sort of terms of concentration they're going to be focused on this one compared to the SK game to follow.
Yeah, and, with the fact that they did concede that set yesterday to EXO free agents, that dampened their ego, perhaps. I don't know. Clash are a very, very focused team. So having said that, maybe they're going to come into today very, very fresh and just kind of see it as a breeze in their eyes. It depends very much on what they have for breakfast, I imagine. It can really honestly be one of those things that goes either way, just depending on what day you wake up on. First match, though, will be on a bot drop, Siege, of course, the game mode, Ring of Fire, and Hot Zone. Purple Paradise we're going to have as Bounty's our third matchup. Heart of Mine and Gem Grab. Yeah, yeah. And then Safe Zone to finish it off if we get that far.
Yeah, and of course, you see the bans coming in. Clash banning Jess once again, by the way. I did that yesterday as well. And the Gene in there. And of course, Primo and Bell for Reply Totem. So, I was talking about, obviously, the Jessie being banned was very strong, particularly on the Hot Zone map. I'm not too sure how strong she is for Ring of Fire, for example. But Parallel Play is very strong for.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of keen to see now with Gene out of the mix and Bell how Purple Paradise is going to be played out, because, ideally you want to have that kind of sort of Piper, Nanny, Gene idea, but with that Brawler's out of the mix, that could make a difference. But Jessie and Primo, Jessie's a great Brawler to have for being Ring of Fire, but I think Clash just don't really necessarily like that Brawler anyway, so it makes sense to get it out of the mix.
Yeah, definitely going to be see how it mixes up between them, of course. As we say, we're going to be starting things off. It will be on a Ring of Fire, so the Hot Zone kicking things off. Actually, is it the Hot Zone? Am I looking at the wrong thing?
I think that's the second mode. I'm just looking up.
Yeah, you see, on my spreadsheet, I have Ring of Fire down, but on that, I thought I saw Safe Zone.
I believe it's Spot Drop, and then Ring of Fire, and then Purple Paradise, yeah.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing, but maybe my thing's just completely wrong. But on the spreadsheet that I have and behind the scenes, it says it's going to be Ring of Fire, which is what confused me. But anyway, let's just see what we get. We'll see what comes out. Let's just hope nobody picks ban champions anymore. Brawlers. Apologies. I'm doing lots of prep for another game, and it's sneaking into my vocabulary. Naughty me, that's for sure. But yes, how do we see this? Do we see a 3-0? Do we see a quick 3-0, put them to the sword and move on? Because that's what Clash are going to be looking for. But Reply Totem, they are looking. Let's have a look at their ranking right now. Obviously picking up that win there. 3-0-3 are they now? I believe. Also tied up, obviously, with Tribe as well, and Big, who are also on 3-0-3.
Yeah, and, this is the thing, and the rivalry between the two teams, Reply to them have beaten Clash before, in quite, spectacular fashion against all odds. So, I gotta say, I did think about this during the predictions, is there anything that I can feel that Reply Totem have going for them today? And I think there is absolutely yes. There is a definite stride in their step today, which could come back around. But Clash at the moment, they are looking so fierce. I think that it would be foolish to not vote them as the favorite going into this. That is a very, very big statistic. 5 wins, 0 losses, 15 sets, and only 1 dropped. only SK have got anything close to that right now. You know, how can you not count them the favourites here?
Yeah, and in fairness, while obviously we've got that set up, the fact is they haven't even come close to dropping quite a few of those. But we'll see how it goes as we do start out in Siege Mode.
Okay, well, Stu makes sense to me. I think the Pam's a decent shout as well. I mean, you know, we do see some Piper here. Obviously, Bell is banned, but you know, that can be a good deterrent, having the healing station to hunker down behind and just tank some of those shots goes a long way. First push going to be coming in for Clash. 2 bolts is all it took, and Maori going to be picking up one for, well, if he stays alive, does stay alive. Two bolts then in the pocket for Totem if they can defend this push. So not really too much in it, and Clash can pretty much sit back.
They got both down. That was in quick reply. That's going to get a lot of damage down here, Clash as well. So great start from them. The Ike finally is cleared out at 38% already off the first bot. That's devastating.
Yeah, that's not the best of starts at all. And, you know, Fly Totem are a bit rusty, I think, when it comes to Siege, and they, you know, maybe haven't, you know, played it or practiced in the lead up to today. But, you know, if they give Clash one more push, then that's surely going to be it. They've got to bank every single bolt, and I think Lenan was creeping up the left-hand side there. I thought we might go in for a bit of a dive. Not going to happen, though. 7 bolts to bank. Then to reply to this, Clash have to defend this, and that gives Postman the chance to gain the control to maintain it for a third and final push. Clash got to get back into the mist quickly here and defend as well.
Oh, a quick double. That might work well in their favor. You can see Mara's going to get around the side. This is a big problem for Clash now. They will be able to get the bot down, but look at the damage that is done. 30% and counting. And they're already down in bolts. This is looking great for Reply Totem. Clash are going to have to go on the aggressive, and you see the super come straight out there. Chaos also just burning them down. They've got to focus on Tamari. Mari taking very low on the side there, but they still have that bolt advantage. Now they're tied up. They need to get some more back. The Guilles trying to bank as much as they can. Is Totem with it at the moment? We're going to be tied at the moment. 5 seconds. I just saw Mari picking more up. He's going to give them the advantage, and Totem will get the last bot.
And they've already got the lead. This is the most amazing thing, because Clash are going to go for a dive, and they can't really do it. They're going to go back on defense. And with no one going in for any damage at all, it's surely going to be then the first win going through the way of Reply Totem. After what was a dominant first push coming from AC Milan Clash, they couldn't maintain it for the rest of the game.
Quite ironic, really, when you think of how Clash have played. Certainly, Siege mode in the last couple of weeks is generally been they've sort of missed out.
And absolutely harness that and tell themselves, look, you know, we can be this much behind and yet still bring back the control to maintain it to go all the way here. So that's a dangerous thing to have in your mindset going into this next game. And you know, Clash dropped their first set yesterday. Well, they're 50% of the way to drop in their first today, which would be their second overall. That's huge for Reply Totem.
Yeah, next thing you know, they'll select a banned brawler, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
Not going to go there. The switch comes in, so Mari going across to the Crow there. Lenane using the boost to launch himself across on the Stew there, but that wasn't ideal. Hasn't really worked out for him, but the damage is looking good at the moment. IKS is going to get the pressure around the side, but you can see it's still Reply Totem with that Pam holding control of this middle area and getting the bolts in once again.
That's going to bank one on the left-hand side here, but oh, maybe not. Jinx in the left, right, and center today. Soil Presser picks up the takedown as well as the bolt, and yeah, this is going to be a struggle here with that respawn from Lenan not being able to really give as much as he would like. The result of that, so this one could be over very quickly.
Yeah, this is looking dangerous for them at the moment because Totem are looking absolutely solid here. They've got once again control at the moment. And that Pam for Maori is working wonders. It's just keeping Chaos in the name completely busy. Maru's just speeding around on the Crow, collecting all the bolts, sending them packing. And this is definitely going to be another Reply Totem bolt coming out here. 7 bolts already collected. There it is, level 7 Siege bot. Coming at you, 55% done on the level 3. This is a problem for Clash.
My cats with the thumbs down, not feeling like this is going to be a pushable defense here. Let's see what happens here. The right-hand side, everyone getting involved. Bodies on left, right, and center. Body blocking as well. That is going to be it. Reply Totem taking the first set in style.
2-0. First set done. Only the second set that Clash have dropped in 17 sets. Incredible. And they just sweep Clash aside. This is not a good sign for Clash, who are trying to set themselves up for their SK game to come. Ring of Fire is next for Hot Zone, and they need to get their brains back in gear. Roll needs to get them on the phone right now and have a word.
I wish I'd trusted my gut instinct on the predictions, but, you know, it was just the first set. There's still plenty more to come. You know, Siege may not have been Clash's, you know, best game mode today, but there's more where that came from. I'm sure that they will be able to bring this one back, or at least make it a close one, because imagine if there was a sweep and how devastating that would be for them. Definitely they've been under more pressurized circumstances than this, so, you know, going into Ring of Fire, I think they'll be able to sort of brush off some dust and you know, gain some ego again and some momentum for themselves, because otherwise they could be in a pretty tricky spot.
Absolutely. Up against it. They're going to want to pick the first game up here on Ring of Fire next here on the Hot Zone. Now, remember, Jesse is banned, so no Jesse on the Hot Zone. Obviously, tends to be a strong brawler for that. We do, of course, have all manner of bruises. I'm trying to think of Frank. They brought Frank to the table a couple of times in Hot Zones. Can be, obviously, a strong brawler for that based on the hit points. Hard to maneuver out of there. And, of course, with the stuns for days as well, which can definitely benefit from. So also Poco is not banned either, is he? So a definite possibility. Just to remind you guys, it is Jesse, Jean, Primo and Bell banned out for this one.
Yeah, and they're all brawlers that could have caused the real issue here. I think they're all pretty viable here, actually, to be fair. You know, I think Amber's the key one now with those particular brawlers in play. I think that she's going to be quite a common theme in these maps. Ems can be a really, really dangerous one here to consider as well. And not even just for tanks, but just simply to suppress and to slow your opposition. Get really, you know, on that right-hand side lane or left-hand side lane and be kind of safe and cozy around the outside of the wall, whilst in the meanwhile, you're causing a real issue on the inside, and your teammates can then focus from below. I think that she's a real contender here. And Lou, yeah, of course, Lou can be a good one to go with here as well. So great with the area denial. Surge on both sides as well. We saw what Scarex was doing with that particular brawler on this exact map yesterday. So yeah, I think that is a key one here.
Absolutely. Sorry, Depressor trying to get forward, but you've already seen Lenane doing some serious work and managing to lock them down, taking full control already, 26% and counting. Now they're going to try and get onto the Byron, and already, look at that, Maru down to 56 health. Just a quick burst in the face from Lenane, doing some serious work.
See what happens. I mean, it's a tough start for Totem here. I mean, Clash already capped 50%. And with that takedown there from iChaos and Destroy the Braze, they're leaving just only Maru now. This is not an ideal start whatsoever. A bit of a glimmer of hope there from Maru getting the takedown on Lenan. But ultimately, I've got to say, I do think the Clash here have got the better comp for me.
Yeah, good freeze there. Mari trying his best to stumble on through that, but instantly matched once again. And this is going to be a closeout for Clash. And exactly what they needed after losing that first set. They needed something just to come back and give themselves some confidence boost and get themselves back in there and check their egos back at the door.
Very, very dominant start. I mean, that's a statement. They had to make a statement, like you say. They had to come out swinging here and put Reply Totem back in their place a little bit and try to give them a little bit of a nudge. I think that the 8-bit for me wasn't really working out too well, and speed here is important in Hot Zone. You know, getting fastly into the mix can go a long way, especially with brawlers like Surge and lose some area denial. The heals from Byron wasn't really serving to do much. I think it's kind of like a bit of an old school meta for me, just a little bit. I think Byron's just kind of dropped off the edge a little bit. We have seen much less of him in Heist and Gem Grab and other game modes as well. So I think that for me, Reply Totem need to make a switch up. They've got to think through something, whether it's tanky comp with the Poco or something with a Pam. I think Lou would be a good one to bring in here at the very least and kind of go from there.
Yeah, it did seem, I don't know whether there's something more tankier, but certainly something to gain their faces and give them something to worry about, because they were keeping him at arm's length throughout that one. And then, that just plays into, obviously, Clash's favour there. So maybe even switch to Byron? Maybe?
Yeah, I think getting rid of Byron here is the way to go, really. And just kind of, if Byron 8-bit, I don't think it really has a place for me here. I think Surge absolutely does. And Lou and Stu as well. So actually some good changes. I like this from Reply Totem, but they've got to play it well. That's the thing now. Gear going with a nice ice block and staying alive for it. Longer than I thought he would do, to be fair to him, but he does go down eventually. But some very, very good totem, but they've got
Sniped off by Lene. The second he tries to peek around the corner, the freeze does come through. So Mari's trying to slow them down as much as he can, but Guille goes aggressive and just like that, puts him to bed, puts the game done. And now it's down to a 2-on-2. Soy de Bressa trying to get the flank around. And, well, they're actually trying a little worried about that one. They will look towards it. That's going to buy time for Mari to get in.
Yeah, really. Stretch if he can, so stay alive here. Guille is on the hunt. Support from Mari only serves to knock a little bit of the HP off. Can Mari now do anything about this? I think he's going to go for Lanani. He's actually going to tick on his own. Now let's see what can happen. Everyone's going to get back in the mix really, really quickly here. Arceus is low. Guille is low. A bit of a glimmer here of hope as he's trying to juke around. This is really nicely done now, but Clash keep coming back into the mix. The really tough map to defend with all these lanes and channels, but Totem are doing pretty well so far, all things considered.
Are they going to be able to do it? 84, 85, 86. They've been pushed off it. And back comes Slash. 90 and counting. With the freeze still down there from Guille. It's going to try and delay them. 1 more %. That's it. They've done it. It's evening up the set. 1 apiece. And Clash come back in strength. But that was much, much closer.
Much closer. And I've got to say, as a result for me of those good and better brawler choices, this is the thing that Reply Totem have got to make sure that they get on point today. Clash are not a team to experiment with. You've got to go with the strongest possible opportunities to make them count. And, you know, that first round, the 8-bit Byron, just like, it's very old, like, previous meta stuff. And Clash just so much, you know, they're always ahead of the game in that respect. They're always reinventing things, but they're keeping it fresh and staying very much in the present. You've got to do that going up against Clash.
Absolutely. So we're moving on. Purple Paradise.
Spawn areas here. And whether that's changed the meta here a little bit, obviously it's a map which has no cover whatsoever except for a little bit of bush down the bottom and the top of the map. So, you know, we saw a lot of that kind of similar idea of it being a kind of Gene Piper, you know, nanny affair. But you know, at the same time, Gene is banned here. So, you know, how are players going to work around that? What's going to provide the healing qualities here? And you know, maybe we'll see some double tank Poco. I mean, or something obviously not an El Primo. But you know, once you get those takedowns, if you're able to hunker down the spawn, that could be really, really costly if you go with like a Piper to get out of them. I'm very, very curious to see what both sides do going into this next game.
Absolutely, and we'll see what they can bring to it. It's going to be almost certainly as Piper, like you say. This is it. You know, the Snipe Fest is inevitable, but without the Bell being banned out there, it does change the choice up. I don't know, a Rico, a Colt, there's something. Just trying to think of things with range, but probably going to be a B and a Max, and maybe something like that. Remember, obviously, Max. Yeah, Max has started to come more and more into it once again, despite obviously the changes. People have sort of picking Max back and saying, all right.
Yeah, it can definitely work. I think that if you're able to establish control and play the slow game, then you'll be able to earn more supers off the back of that. But yeah, like you said, it's like the old toy that you threw away. You kind of pick back up and go, oh yeah, well Max, you were kind of fun. Maybe we'll give you a second chance. It's definitely in a much more balanced place for sure, and you know, would have absolutely been the go-to here before. So, you know, and Clash do like that particular brawler, so I think they've got some sort of attachments going on there in the background. But either way you look at it, and there's definitely some opportunities for some big, wide open opportunities. I think, like you say, like B could be a really good pick as both a long-range affair brawler, but also one that can counter a lot of tanks quite heavily.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, maybe something to get in their faces. Maybe a Crow, I don't know, something crazy, just something to just jump in there. But Crow generally benefits from the fact that obviously it's some sort of wall coverage to jump over and get in their face. So I'm not too sure on that one, but let's have a look. It is indeed going to be the B, the Piper, and the Nanny, isn't it?
Yeah, on both sides. As we say, that double takedowns as well. As the fight for the blue star remains, the Nana is going to take a hit there. And load up as well really, really nicely by Soy de Bressa. Let's see what happens with this left-hand side. Guille taking a lot of shots. Peep coming in. Does connect to Lena as well. That's an 8-star, 6-star lead to Reply Totem with the blue star in their favor.
Whoa, Lene, I'm just using the super to come in and get aggressive, and actually it almost paid off there. Caught Soy de Bressa a little off guard. Had to use is to just bounce away. Oh, Guille down to 112, tries to block it. Lene tries to come in and block it, but Maru snipes him down, and this is a fantastic start. Chaos will manage to get one back though onto Maru. That was the blue star returning as well, and a 3-star kill as Chaos finds another. Now they just needed a shot, but you can't dodge that. And Maru takes down Guille.
I've got to say that is the second honey molasses from Maru to prevent Lenan from getting the takedown and the kill. Absolutely would have done so with that homemade recipe. So great awareness from him to place that gadget down firmly. Okay, so 6 stars is all that's in it. Just a couple of takedowns, but these peeps that Maori is not failing to hit are definitely causing a problem for Clash, and they've got to shut that idea down and stop feeding him in particular. Nice takedown from Guille here, closing the gap. Oh, another one as well, but only still 1 star remains. Can they get one single kill? Any Totem will do. And there's a peep coming in right now.
It's going straight. Oh, and it gets Maru down. 18 to 17, back away, you've got time. The blue star still with reply tournament. Clash may well have just stole this one away. Oh, Guille survives on 32 hit points. Somehow manages to work his way through that one. They're pushing in. They lose another. And Clash will pick up the game. Oh, my word.
I'd love to look back. I think he used the gadget there as well to prevent that from taking even more damage. I mean, I don't know whether it made much of a difference, but he was still doing everything he could to prevent it. It was Maru before that had his thumbs on the gadgets, but Clash stayed composed. Right at the very end of that matchup, when it could have gone either way, they knew they had to stay in that position and apply the pressure, and they did just that. Counting as they went along, no doubt exactly who was the prime target. That was a quick turnaround there. That right side takedown. Methodical plays from Clash.
I don't think we've see it was so close. You know, that there's as simple as that. I think we're going to go straight back to the same, straight back with the same brawlers. You know, just as I said earlier, just do better forehead. I mean, that's pretty much as best you can hope for. Because, you know, I've got to be honest, Reply Tournament are going to be kicking themselves after that one.
Yeah, I mean, they had it in the bag. They were in a pretty good place. All they had to do really was just keep the communication coming in. That was the most important thing really, was to make sure that everyone knew.
Absolutely, Mario, just caught on the backside, but gets away with it. Chaos manages to somehow survive as well, but Soydebressa finally finds Lene, giving himself the advantage, 5-3. Look at Lene coming in, aggressive once again. Oh, how does he get away with it every time? Lene, is he disconnected? No, he's just baiting them, standing still. Okay, maybe a Wi-Fi issue. I'm a little concerned, but either way, it is Clash holding the lead right now.
Lena being connected with the... actually, no, he didn't connect with the homemade recipe because the Soydebressa was... he was getting his health back way too quickly if he had connected. Could have gone for Mari there. I think it would have probably been a wiser choice. Chaos, though, is definitely a firm target for Totem there. Actually, no, I take that back. Lena was the firmer target, but the 4 stars must be glaring at Reply Totem for sure. Lena coming in, pops the homemade recipe, but now you see, he wasted so much time because of the replenishing. Totem were kind of expecting it a little bit there.
Oh, down to 32 once again, Lene. And 30 seconds and counting. Uh-oh, where's it going to go? It's going for Chaos. It's going for Chaos. It's going to bounce it. Trying to bait it out. And he tries to sidestep it out there, and in the end, it works. Guille on the respawn, using the respawn buffer to take it down.
A really smart play in all fairness to them, but Maori goes down, a massive pickup for Clash. Can they make it follow up just to keep the pressure rolling? And Mario again with a really clutch connect. He goes down. The P won't connect, but it doesn't even need to. Soy will make a jump for it. Clash did very, very well there and came out on top.
So, 2-1 to Clash. They lost the first set, but they have looked in control, although that was pretty close. I mean, it's Purple Power Ice, right? It's always going to look pretty darn close overall.
Yeah, and just, I like the comps that both teams ran, to be fair to them, and that could have been something that could have gone either way. We saw in previous games and sets that Reply to made a couple of interesting, arguably maybe worse brawler choices, but going into this, they really did pick that pitch perfect. So gotta give them credit for that. They just were not able to regain their composure. That's something that Clash may have as a result more of their experience and kind of like just how long they've been around to really nurture those ideas between the team. But Reply Totem now are really kind of in a bit of a pickle because they came in so strong out of the gates. They just kind of let Clash take back control now, and they are moving closer and closer to that match point. They've got to be very aware of that as we go into our next game mode, which will be Gem Grab and Hard Rock Mine. Yeah,
absolutely. What are they going to bring to the table for this one? Gene was banned out, just to remind you guys. So Jesse, Gene, Primo, and Bell. The reason I mention that is because Gene's often the gem carrier for this map type. So definitely going to have to make the change for that. Maybe bring the Max out to be the gem carrier for the speed, or actually probably more likely the Stew, I would say.
I think Stu, would be a decent shout. I mean, we know that Clash love to play a lot of their tankier roles, and not too against bringing out a Rico for the side lane as well here. At the same time, I do worry a bit because Reply Totem have shown that they went with 8-bit earlier today, and I kind of think that they might have the same idea going into this one because, back in the day, and I say back in the day, about a few months ago, Byron and 8-bit was a really strong pairing here on Hard Rock Mine. I just kind of hope that they stay clear of that one as an idea. But I think Ems would be a good shout as well, just in the off chance that Clash do bring out that Rosa. I think that Totem have got to go with a pick like that. Tara here can do really well as well. I think Ems has got to be on the cards for Reply Totem. But no Rosa though, could be a saving grace if they haven't.
Okay, so the Ricos, the Stews, and a Piper for Mari. That does surprise me. Bringing a Piper to the table here, as opposed to the Ruffs. Well, the Ruffs has been sniped down. Mari comes in, but yeah, I mean, I guess theory behind this is if under pressure, hit super panic run.
Something like that, yeah. I think here, obviously running the air superiority and not the field promotion from Gear, so looking to break open the map is something which is on the minds of Clash here. Chaos gets taken down, and that's unusual because that's actually one of his favourite brawlers in the side lane, so Maru doing a good job there, as definitely he is a very accomplished Rico in that respect. And now forced back as well, but pushed to stay alive to keep that damage buff coming in, and now starting to regain a bit of control, but 8 stars in the pocket for Reply Totem. That's a lot.
And yeah, and with that cover cleared out, that's just going to open things up for Mari. But there is a bit of pressure here. Maru is forced down. Soydebressa got dropped. So definitely working out. I just wonder if they kind of planned for Soydebressa to be the gem carrier, and then sort of Mari just ended up collecting quite a few and just said, you know what, I may as well just keep at it. It seems to be that way. But either way, with Clash's cover pretty much taken down, Totem just needs to force them back, and the game is theirs. But at the moment, Clash are doing a fantastic job. Switching sides, by the way, in case you noticed, Guille went over to the right and Chaos on the left, so they switched over lanes, and that's kind of what's given them better control here. Soydebressa are going to go aggressive, not going to work out for them, and there is the 10 that Totem needed, just that little bit of aggression to force them back.
Oh, cracking through there from Chaos, connecting nicely to reset the countdown. Follow-ups as well. Pressure onto Soydebressa. Look at the right-hand side as well. Mori's under pressure from I keep saying Laguier. It's Guille. Oh, my word. That was a really important play. That would be enough for Clash to be able to get these gems from the mid. If they push this now, a great turnaround potentially on the cards.
Oh, and he tries to step out. And again. They reset. So many times, and now they have the gem lead at 12-9. They're going to back away from this one. Mari can't really get too involved in this one. Open battle, has to land some big shots, but gets a burst in the face from Chaos, and now is just simply chasing it down. 10 gems, doesn't matter. That's going to be Clash picking it up, and they will take the first game in the set.
That is a sweet, sweet match point taste in their mouths right now, and a very, very important moment there towards the end of that countdown. Chaos there just really knows Rico inside out and didn't hesitate to connect with that. But yeah, now Reply Totem, they're going to be kicking themselves a little bit to find themselves in this position, considering the start and their approach coming into today, and the fact that they were obviously well, prepped and prepared following that victory over Navi. I kind of expected them to continue on, to be honest. We haven't seen that set, continue on from the one that they received in the first game. And now they are really probably looking back on that and thinking, where did it all go wrong?
I still question the Piper pick. I'm not sold on the Piper pick on this map, but it worked. Honestly, it kind of worked for Totem. I don't think Piper was the problem, although I would argue wasn't really hitting the shots for sort of the last 30 seconds of that game. When everything opened up, it looked like great. It's like opened up all the cover, gonna go for the shots, and then didn't land any shots. Which is a bit of a problem. Whereas the Stew obviously struggled, but it's easy to say that, obviously, for us sitting here watching it. But you know what? Clash obviously thought it was great because they've decided to come with a Piper themselves and the Sprout as well, the change for Chaos.
Sprout's an interesting choice from both sides, actually. Chaos, though, I've got to say, I feel like he's possibly the better of these two players playing the role. I just know that it's one of the brawlers that he really, really loves and thrives on with. And a nice pinch there between Lana and Chaos there to get the shots onto Maori. I kind of feel like Totem might have a bit of a chance here to bring this back, especially to keep this pressure onto Lana. And there it goes down as well. And Maori can pick up some gems here. So, yeah, I mean, in this instance, I'm not sure the Piper's going to fare too well. They could have been better off maybe going in with something else, maybe like a Pam in this instance with the bans that are in play. But now they've got to get out of this spawn zone area to be able to do anything about this. And Chaos, that takedown, everyone else went down, though.
I just didn't think that Piper was good. Just saying. I know they just had a bit of a trade-off there. They do finally get down. Mario ended up having to pick up the gems, but they lost a few. So Guille now comes back in on the roughs. Not probably the brawler they want to get the gems stacking out on, but obviously the brawler that's going to work on so far. There is the 10 picked up for Reply Totem. As Mori tries to stop Chaos sneaking around the back, puts him down to super down. The block comes in, and it's actually a big problem around the side there. They get Mari picked off, and you can see it is the Rico of Maru they're trying to chase down at the moment in their top left-hand corner. Time is against them, and he will survive. One apiece now here in this next set. It was match point, and it still is match point for Clash, but Reply Totem are not letting them get away with this one easy.
Imagine the reverse move. Reply Totem can just get through gem grab. And then we've really got an interesting situation on our hands. But I've got a feeling that Clash are going to come out here. They're going to go with something that they're confident with. I think, it's time for the Mortis pick. I think Lanan has got to bring out that brawler now. Go on the aggressive, just completely be a distraction. And I think that Reply Totem have got to think ahead to that possibility here. They're going to want to seal this and seal it fast. They do not want to go to the fifth and final set, that's for sure.
I'm just going to answer a quick question for Biggs Chef. Biggs Chief in chat. Guy has no idea Piper is good here. Just going to point out Piper lost both games so far. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Might well be good, but lost both games in these comps. And I actually want to see whether they're going to stick with it. Will they switch away from this one? Because it absolutely didn't have the effect desired in both those games.
It used to be a good gem carry. At the moment, the possible bans, I think the Bell would be the definite go-to. And Rosa for Guille, I like that. I was going to suggest either the Mortis or the Rosa, but it's going to be Mortis for Maru, actually. I wasn't sure the ride got on.
We're both gone. We're back. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Lene trying to get around the side there. Maru's just like, I think they're kind of like, they're going to bring the Mortis. I'm going to bring the Mortis. I'm going to bring it. But Guille with the Rosa going hunting. This is a good map for Rosa. This is one that Guille has obviously worked it on well before. But obviously with Soy Depressor also bringing that Rosa to the table. Under the pressure, Mari gets away with it. Does finally go down. And now Lene picking it up more. But here comes Maru. Oh no, we can't see him. He's gone that deep. But it doesn't matter because Guille came back and saved the day.
I think Rosa's the solid choice here because ultimately you need to have a heavy set of hands. But my goodness, we go big drop here. Soy Depressor picks up the gems. Guille's all that stands between him. He gets a really important takedown. And Guille both are tied up now as a result of that save.
98. health is all he had, but it absolutely paid off. And we're back to Lene having to try and collect those gems up. Soydebressa getting involved, hitting both of them at the moment there. Does get the one down, comes in. Guille spotted out. Guille low. And here comes Maru. Mari and Maru definitely diving on that gem carriers, trying to get what they can. Now, this is actually a big problem because Maru on Mortis with the gems, not ideal. It basically means we're fighting a 2v3 effectively here at the moment, trying to collect as many gems as they can, and that leads into Clash's favor.
Chaos there with the taps following up again, but Maru somehow managed to get on top of that, and Soy coming in with the aggression. It's just allowing him to escape. It's all down to Chaos. Can he connect? He needs it super. He's trying to find Maru. He's got time to get it. Great aggression from Maru, able to contain this situation, and I think we're going to go all the way, D-Man.
Soydebressa just hits the super, says, yeah, try me, buddy. Not going to happen. And we do drop a second set here, Clash. Reply Totem taking it all the way to the 5th series.
I mean, this is a massive, massive turn up for the books. I don't think anyone that saw this coming in, I am really kicking myself on these predictions now. But, like, a one set drop was all that Clash had coming today. Just the one set. And it occurred yesterday. And now they're already in this one series, 2 sets down. I mean, we're tied up. We're all tied up. But going into this 5th and final mode, I mean, imagine if Clash take their first loss. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty crazy when you think about it, really, the way this is actually played out. It's like Siege mode, Clash were and are phenomenal on. You know, if you're looking at Gem Grab, ironic, by the way, ironic that you said, I think it's time for Lene to get the Mortis. Doesn't happen. Reply Totem go, they're going to bring the Mortis. We get the Mortis, and the Mortis is the difference. Still, by the way, despite 11.3 seconds time to get everything set, ready to go, there's enough time in these games, and it worked out wonderful again.
I think that's the thing I mentioned as well in that whole idea with the Mortis. But if Reply Totem saw that coming and prepared for it, then they had a chance, and that's what they kind of did. I think the Rosa was a good idea, actually, because ultimately if they hadn't had enough chemistry and coordination to take care of those big tanky brawlers, you can get yourself found in the back of a corner and pressurized very, very easily. But it didn't stir or deter Reply Totem, and this is really, really interesting. It's funny to me, honestly, I've got to say, how Clash just seem to always do well against teams like SK or EXO or the big front runners, really, in general. But when it comes down to Reply Totem, they sometimes seem to struggle, and it's kind of just an interesting thing that Reply Totem also struggles with the same teams that Clash find quite easy to sort of take down in their tournament journeys. So not sure what it is, to be completely honest, whether it's just something in their minds or their heads or just broader decisions on the day. But either way you look at it, we're into safe zone. And this is do or die now for Clash.
I like this from Soydebressa, bringing the Amber instead of the Colette, which Clash have brought. Lineage's going to get around the backside, not going to get any damage down. And with Maru, of course, on the Colt, does get just a little bit of a burst of damage onto the save, start things off, start things going. Nobody going with the Piper, by the way. This does surprise me, actually, especially on this map. It's definitely a Piper heavy, but instead it is going to be finally Guille getting in there, hitting that super on the Colette, getting himself the damage down, and you can see it is in their favor now. So Reply Totem will try and work it, but Lene spawns just in time.
And comes in with the speed as well. That's going to go a long way here as I want to say Lena, but it's Guille. I've got to remind myself it's Guille. I wish he hadn't changed his name. Chaos getting some good damage, though. And Guille coming in as well to connect with the save. Nicely done on that side of things. Chaos has put a really nice super in the middle of the map as well, and that's going to deter people from wanting to cross over it. At some point, they're going to probably have to, or Soy needs to clear up this middle lane. A lot of pressure now. Clash wanting to get this finished really, really quickly, and doing really, really well under the circumstances now.
Yeah, Chaos just burning them down there, making it work out. Going to get Maru picked off. No, Mari turns it round and look at Maru sneaking around the back there. Wants to try and get his super away. Just as the first basic shot at the moment gets Guille down, backs out. In comes Mari to try and help him out. And look at that damage they just managed to get down. It's not quite enough though with 36 seconds to go. And now Chaos pushing forward. Amber on Amber. Soydebressa in the end comes out on top, but Guille will finish him off. And that buys him time to get in and get the damage on the safe.
Great speed from Lenar, right in the nick of time to get Gear outside, and the safety of that situation there. He's able to heal up now and come in back into the mid. But it's the 3 versus 2, and Maru just shook that nicely, but a nice space shooter from Lenar. But I gotta say, Maru did really well to get around the corner and got a couple of shots off the safe for his problems here. 5 seconds to go though. I thought Clash just about safe, but a nice comeback from Totem showed some promise towards the end that might go into the next game. I mean, if they make a few things, different next time round and just a bit more caution around taking that early damage, who knows? Who knows? It could be match point versus these two teams.
I wonder what changes we're going to have. Of course, the two teams, the real difference is the Colette and the Colt. Whether we see one of them changing or whether we see Clash maybe reading into this and changing something else, I don't know. But it's for Reply Totem. They're the ones on the back foot. Maybe they're going to make adjustments. Obviously, just to remind you guys of the bans that are out there, Bell is banned, so won't be able to go with the Bell, which would be a solid pick for this map. A Piper possibility, but it's not going to be. Clash will stay the same, and it will be the Colette switch. Oh, the B comes out as well for Maru.
Yeah, B's Penny actually on the left-hand side. Yeah, that's the Penny, not the B, but the very similar skins actually now with the new introduction of the Archvillain B skin. The thing I've got to mention though, looking at the bans was that Clash were the team to ban Jesse. Now Jesse would have been an ideal brawler here, and I just kind of wonder, was that ban with this particular map in mind if it were to go all the way? If it is, then that could go in their favor right now. But that Penny turret is an interesting one. We don't tend to see her play too much in this particular region. I've got to be honest, it's kind of more of an A sort of brawler to choose here. But one that could prove a bit of a thorn in the sides of AC Milan Clash here. I don't think they've got anything that can really necessarily break the wall with. Yeah, so no wall breaker. So that turret is going to stay really hunkered down unless they get this team wipe and closing the gap on it and choose to actually target it. But at the moment, that might have been on Chaos' mind. He's going straight for the safe.
Absolutely, working out well at the moment. You can see it is Clash that got the damage down, 61 to 87%. Oh, and Guille does manage to deal with one on the side. Soydebressa going down, so Colette and Colette as the Nade continues to push forward. Chaos now burning down with an Amber, getting a lot of damage down there as well onto Soydebressa the second he's spawned back in there. Really working out well for Chaos at the moment, keeping control on this right side, and it buys time for Guille once again to get that damage down on the safe, 49% and counting.
Yeah, it's so important that he connects with these safes and just keeps the damage rolling in for Clash, because we saw how much damage he took as a result of that last blast effect on the floor there from the Penny turret. When he came back, he just took a ton of damage, which he otherwise wouldn't. So this brawler pick is an interesting one for me from Reply Totem. If Murray can get a turret down in this position here, this could be a ton rolling in for Reply Totem, but is it a bit too little too late? That's the question, and that turret is more going to be in range for people to take down. So if Clash can just get a little bit of mid-control to be able to take care of it, I don't think they care. They're going straight again for the save, and why not? That is what is going to give them the win. Lenar needs to stay on his feet, goes down. All 3 members of Totem, this is their chance.
They've got to get the damage down now. The Lobber's doing what it can, but it's not going to be enough. 12 seconds and counting. I think Reply Totem realise it. They have to throw the kitchen sink at this one to get that last 40% down. It's not going to be the case as Maru gets picked off. Here they go. Totem going in. Maru through. Not enough. It will be Clash that will take it in the end. But boy, were they pushed. 3-2 in the end. The game will go to them. But wow. The first time they ever dropped 2 sets here in the ESL Mobile Challenge. After the break, it's SK Gaming up against AC Milan Clash. That is one you want.
ESL Mobile Challenge is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Mobile Challenge. I'm Lee Smith, and joining me is Harry, aka Lethal, for this one. And we are into what is, well, the mega match. The mega match of the league so far. A 6-0 clash up against a 5-0 SK Gaming. One of these teams is about to drop a game. Who the heck is it going to be? Some superstars on all of these teams, Lethal.
Yeah, certainly indeed. One of these teams has to take the L. We've got Skyrex, Jettin and Semantic. A lot of people will probably say SK because they have a higher level of consistency across the board compared to what Clash normally have. The last series was a good example. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how this pans out. Between these two juggernauts in the EU region, it's like birthday, Christmas, everything comes together in this one day, and I get very excited when I see both these teams up against each other at loggerheads every single time, and it's going to be an absolute treat to see and to find out what the outcome is going to be. So an absolute slobber knocker to say the least. Just a tad bit worried about Clash considering the circumstances.
For themselves, they have
maybe they both expected each other to ban it, but Clash should know that SK normally do go for, you know, the Jettin does take down Guillen. Lenar wants a piece of him as well. With the pipe. But they need to push up either too much, especially on the spawn as well. You haven't really got much HP with the Piper, or of course the Bell, or anything like that in the slightest. So even just one, maybe two, you know, bits of ammo just to push up with, going past the save as well as body blocking, they're going to be fine in terms of being on the respawn. It's not like they're going to have any issue to deal with, like any of the tanks, etc, etc. So going to look to see how SK can respond to this a little bit better. But in all fairness, I don't know how much but it can be, because the support was there. The trades were coming out as it should do, but anything they can do here is, you know, we could see some changes, but it looks like we're not. We're going to be sticking to what we saw compared to last time. Jettin's already taken some early damage in that right lane, but so has Lenan. And now Jettin's still just trying to see if he can get a couple of shots. It does get two, and you see Semantic there with the support managed to clean things up, and that's going to give a little bit of leadway here for SK.
Oh, but Jettin already taking a big old chunk there. Semantic tries to get around the side there, gets a shot down onto Guille, has to remove that cover and avoid the damage there, but lands the shot to Lena and will work you out. Now that gives, obviously, Guille's cover is completely blown, and that buys the time. Now they get the shots down. The first shots they managed to get onto Clash there. Chaos also taken down. Semantic is popping off in the mid.
Took a game and a half, but they finally got there in the end. D-Man down to 15%. In terms of deficit between both these teams, very, very close. As Chaos now trying to look for that first initial engagement. He's going to push up quite aggressively. Lenan does take down Jettin, so there's the opening they were looking for. Trying to do some more excess damage afterwards, but they can't, as Lenan's taken way too much, and so has Guille, looking to pull back a little bit in that left lane. But Skyrex just waiting for this moment right now. Missed a couple of shots onto Guille. Missed 3 in a row, sadly, so can't capitalise on that initial situation. Semantic's actually done a shot on himself once again, looking to push this entire team back. But Chaos has taken a fair amount in that right lane. Lenan's going to take down Semantic there. There's a time for him to push. Lenan's actually taken down another. Chaos will get a couple more additional shots and now up by 9%.
Oh, Lenan just about lands another shot as well. 71 to 74. There's somebody on the back, or there was, that I think has now been dealt with or is being dealt with, because I can see that the Guille has gone back there. Guille has been taken down. Skyrix is the one that's back there, I feel. Yes, Skyrix is around the back side. There we go. So he's the one that they're having to worry about right now. But you can see they have that lead, 68, but not for long. Skyrix will get the shots off, and here comes Jetton and Semantic to start getting the punishment down. A quick triple from Jetton there makes it 57% and counting. And they're going to keep that pressure pumping. And the Piper shots absolutely thump home. The shots onto Lenan. Lenan will go down to Semantic. That's going to be it. SK will take this one. We're tied in the series.
Oh, that was ridiculous from Skyrix. He just not only overstayed his welcome, but he survived much longer than he should have done in that top left-hand corner. He was doing a little bit of damage here and there, and even right at the very last minute, you saw it took at least 2 members to push on up onto him, and he still got a trade, so he still benefited in multiple ways in that kind of circumstance or that scenario he was in, just doing a huge amount of work, getting so much map control for the rest of his team. And you saw Jetton and Samantha were able to just push on up constantly, even if they were taken down, and were able to give Skyrix a helping hand. But even though Skyrix didn't get a huge amount of help, he didn't need any help. That was the whole point of him being there. Distract at least 2 of the members from SK to make it a 2v1 scenario for the side of Clash and be able to do even more damage towards that safe. Just Skyrix doing fantastic work there, knowing how much time he's wasting, the little bit of damage here and there he's doing to the safe, and still getting that trade after he was taken down.
Absolutely fantastic performance, and this game could go either way. Obviously no brawler changes in the first 2 matches. I don't expect to see one this time around. This time, of course, it was all about getting around that back, so great work from him. Guille did some fantastic work, and the snipe duels, you know, we were talking about obviously Lenan dominating the first one. Well, Semantic steps up and absolutely smashes them in the second, as well as Jetton. So it seemed to be working. Whatever they had to do, whatever the communication was between the players, absolutely clicked this time around. So who's going to take the first set? Obviously, we know that SK have only dropped 2 sets so far. Clash have only dropped 3 sets in total as well. One of these teams is going to drop a set, and he could really start the momentum for one of those teams going into the following match, of course, which is going to be on Snake Prairie in the Bounty, which is, you know, effectively going to be yet another duel fest. We do not have any changes for SK, but we have a Poco and a Colette coming out for Clash.
Interesting. I was wondering when a Colette was going to make an appearance here. Finally, we do see it, but not for too long, as Chaos has been taken down straight away by Jetton. He was looking for that snipe for the first initial seconds of the game, as Lenan, you can see